What is up with it? Welcome back to Melee It On Me, the second time in 1 week, the 5 days of Melee It On Me podcast featuring the legends. Y'all already know who these fools are. What are we doing here? First
It's
question.
it is the last segment of the 5 days of Melee. I've actually
My
been
goodness.
I've been floored at how many content creators have come together and made this happen. Because as of 3 weeks ago, I'm pretty sure this was not a concept. This did not exist literally 3 weeks ago.
Shoutouts to Matt.
That's crazy.
I think this all
Yeah,
started with a
yeah.
message in the MIOM Facebook chat that was like, "Yeah, what if we just have a bunch of content for a week?
Yeah, because
Call it
why
a
not,
week of Melee."
dude? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've also by the way, that Jeopardy episode, the outcome
good
never,
shit. Good stuff.
never
Good
in
stuff.
doubt, never in doubt. It took me like half a round to get the buzzer timing, dude. I don't know if you had the same problem, Tove.
I did. Wait, were you, Robin? Can I just ask you one question? Were you reacting or were you guessing on when the buzzer would open?
Dude, I was doing a hard read for the entire first round. Did not work. Okay, and then I switched to kind of anticipating, but kind of not quite reading, and then just boom. I don't fucking know. I don't know what the best strategy is. What did you were reacting, right? You're a Fox man.
I was reacting at first, and then Tafo started guessing, and then I realized that if Tafo's guessing, I have to start
That's
guessing.
the meta, right?
Yeah. However, I maintain that I don't think Tafo was able to outreact me. So I think from him starting to guess the timing, I think it was a subtle, tacit admission of defeat in the world of reactions.
He knew he had to get that intangible
how I
in his pocket.
That's how I felt.
It's all about the intangibles. How are we doing on our donation goal, by the way?
Dude, we're close.
right?
Close.
Oh!
45K.
Hi, Sophie Donato.
46K.
Hey!
The homie's here.
He didn't go to sleep after all, huh?
See, Uncle Tove. It's Uncle Rob.
Hi, Donato.
Uncle Sheridan.
Hi, Donato. Hi, Donato.
Yeah, his bedtime's
And hi,
an
Sophie.
hour and a half ago.
It's the family portrait right here. This is so cute.
This is so cute.
That's what it is.
Can
Where's
Sophie hear me?
Atriog? Where's Atriog for
You're not wearing
a Smash Sports
earphones.
post?
I want tell Sophie I said hi.
Tove says hi. Only Tove says hi. Sheridan said, "F you, Sophie."
You did not.
She knows you didn't. Come on.
Wait, hold on. I can't hear Sheridan.
What do you think, Donato? What do you think about this silly show?
Oh,
Yeah.
Sheridan, I can't hear you. Can you figure that out?
Said he.
We were
Thank you,
talking.
Sheridan.
We were talking a minute ago about money. He was telling me a story about how his snake had money to buy allergy medicine. I said, "Where would he get the money?" He said, "The money store, of course."
The money store?
The money store, of course. You just go to the money store, and that's where you get the money. Duh.
Shout out to Death Grips. It's a good album.
Wait, is the money store in Fort Knox, Kentucky?
I don't know, man, but
Where is this place?
we need to find out. That's what has to happen.
Allergy medicine, is that Zyrtec or Claritin?
Remember what it's called?
It's cat allergies specifically.
Oh, I cat allergies growing up.
What's most effective
Oh,
for?
be quiet. What's it called?
Super Smash Brothers Melee.
I still can't hear Sheridan. Let's stall a little bit more.
That's the allergy medicine. That's the only allergy medicine I need. Is
We
Super
just love
Smash
to give
Brothers.
the world that content.
That's the only
Thank
allergy
you, Donato. Thank you,
Uncle
Donato.
Joe says
Please
thank
someone
you.
clip that. Please someone clip that.
Yeah, you got to clip it. Who do you play in Super Smash Bros. Melee? Who do you like to play?
You play Donato.
Who do we fight against? We fight.
Oh no! Okay.
What made you pick Fox? Who do you like when I play?
Lip reading. I saw Captain Falcon.
No,
It was not Fox.
I heard
That's
Fox.
when I play
don't know.
Falcon.
Absolutely not.
Fox
Why did you
Falcon
pick
secondary.
Fox?
That's fair. That's a good duo.
Okay, I can live with that.
Okay, are we back here?
Yes, I can hear Sheridan now. Yes,
Godlike.
yes.
Godlike.
Thank you for whoever helped make
Bye,
that happen.
Donato. I'll teach you some Fox sometime.
Bye, Donato.
Tell the people.
Uncle Tove says he'll teach you some Fox anytime.
You want to tell? There's so many people watching. Do you want to tell them anything? What do you want to tell them?
Stretch
Okay, Donato and I are gonna go stretch. We just finished our.
We're gonna do some stretching. That's awesome.
That's
Good
good.
to
I
see
should
you.
stretch more. I should stretch more.
Thanks for coming through.
I should stretch more.
He plays Fox, yeah. He plays Fox. I
Especially if
play
he's gonna play
Falcon.
Fox.
Mm-hmm. I don't know
Although
how he decided.
Falcon, I've heard, has the second highest average APM, or what is it called? Yeah, actions per minute,
Yeah,
right?
you got it. Yeah.
Some nerd compiled it all, and like Falcon is actually higher than like Falco and whoever else you thought would be number 2.
But is that digital actions per minute, or is that including the hour?
I don't fucking know.
All right, how many times is Robin going to call me a nerd this episode?
I did it in the Twitch chat when you were talking about that
I
before
saw
and
that.
after. That's my quota for the night. I'll leave you
Nice.
alone. The before and after category was probably like the number 1 favorite category.
Amazing
Like,
category.
Like Sheridan, did you write a couple of those, or who was that?
No, I didn't.
Whoever wrote that.
I may have given them the idea, but I didn't write anything. I just play tested.
Yeah, that was good though.
What was the must watch content from the 5 days? Because y'all know me, I'm not a great
The
watcher.
game shows.
I gotta go back.
All the game shows, I
Game
think.
shows.
Game shows are godlike.
Which, I mean, you were on, the Melee and Air one, so those were amazing. I think the Zoo Run
Yeah.
was very legendary.
It was legendary.
I thought the Melee Jeopardy games were phenomenal. Tonight, there were some really good. I kind of don't want to spoil anything if you are going to watch them.
I'm gonna watch them. Yeah.
There were some really clever questions. And
Bobby, how many of those Millionaire questions did you actually know? Give me a percent.
I want, I'm
Very
curious.
few percent wise.
Over or under 50?
Under. I was thinking around 10. I was
Really?
thinking over or under 10.
Were there any
Yeah,
questions
that one question of like who beat Wizrobe? There was like Zamu and RK. I didn't know those people. I'm thinking like there's no way Alex beat Wizzy. I never heard of these other two guys.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, most questions I had no idea. It's true.
We'll look at some of those later. I kind of want to like take a couple minutes in the middle of this and like screen share. And
I think that's a good idea. Yeah, just ask me some.
There was
Yeah.
at least one
See how I
Melee
do.
Jeopardy question about name this combo video footage that I think Bobby would nail. So
Oh, Bobby, you would have
I
loved
think
it.
he'd nail that one.
Yeah.
People in my chat,
I already
encouraged
love it.
I was
already love it.
restreaming it. I was restreaming it in my chat. A couple people in my chat were guessing number 2 of the combo video franchise that it was from, and I was saying, I'm pretty sure this was from the first iteration, and this footage, in fact, plays towards the end of the video, where there is a miniature series or flurry, if you will, of Scar jumps from. Well, anyway, I'm a Scar.
You knew, yeah, you knew where it was.
So,
Yeah,
no.
that's dope. Thanks, dope.
Wait, what is the? Absolutely, dude. I got you.
Yeah, what's happening on the screen?
Yeah, wait. I want
I see
to.
I was screen sharing in OBS Ninja, but I had the wrong tab pulled up. But now it should be good for when we screen share later.
We're screen sharing later.
Yeah, you know what? We can just do it. We just do it. I'm not gonna lie. There are some of these, like the very first question, I just fucking did not know for some reason. Okay, like this frame per second thing.
This one?
Well, how do you not know that?
You only get this wrong if you overthink it. I think if
This
you
is like-
overthink it, you can get this wrong. But if you don't overthink it, if you just rip your gut out,
You thought it was B? You think it was maybe 30, Rob?
Yeah, I was like BC probably. I'm
Okay,
a
so-
CRT person. Okay, Sheridan, stop shaking your head.
It's just C. It's just 60.
It is definitely C, but I thought that it was 30 at one time long ago, and Blur actually made fun of me for it. Because I don't remember what the context was, but I was at the Twitch office with Blur, and we had a discussion about the frame rate of Melee. I was like, what is it, 30? Is it 29.97? He's like, no, Bobby, it's 60. Idiot.
No, it's so.
Oh my-
No, it gets
Dang,
confusing.
dude, I
No,
still
Bobby,
whoop you.
I'm gonna defend you right here because I know where you're coming from. Because the game processes like what's happening or whatever internally in terms of 60, but sometimes you feel like it renders 30 frames per second to the console visually.
That's
and
what I
that's where it
thought.
can get tricky.
The 29.97 was stuck in my head for some reason.
You're thinking of so that makes it tricky. But yeah, I think when it says runs at, I think it's just talking about.
Bobby, you knew this one, right? The Apex Hobby PP. This Blur has no excuse for this one.
I don't know why Blur took so long on this one.
He has
Why
no
Blur take so long
excuse.
on
He
this
took
one?
really long. I don't know if
Okay.
I would have known which event, but with the way that I would have thought about it is Hacks Javi definitely happened. I think that did that, but I don't
That was
remember what years,
2013.
dude.
See, that was 2013. That's
That
how
was
I got it. 'Cause
13?
I was like, well, that was 13. Because Javi showed up back-to-back years. Because I remember that because 12 and 13
If I
were the
remembered that,
same.
then I would have guessed 12.
I didn't.
But I didn't
you
know
He
were-
what
didn't come to
year.
14, right?
14 was in a different venue. That's why I
Yeah.
was like, Blur, why
Yeah.
are you mixing those up? It was a different building.
Yeah,
different
the
part of New
pillar.
Jersey
The
entirely.
pillar wasn't there.
The brick pillar. That brick pillar lives
That-
in my mind rent free.
Oh,
That,
yeah.
that's one of those things where you give that little description and everybody immediately knows what you're talking about.
Bobby, do you know the brick pillar I'm talking about?
No.
Bobby, you know it.
Is it in the Apex VODs?
In the middle of the
What are you
Apex
talking about?
venue for absolutely no reason? There's a giant brick pillar. You-
That's
I
horrifying.
really don't know what you're talking
You
about.
had to have been inconvenienced by this brick pillar at least once. Trust me.
It has blocked many a finals viewing. for me.
That's true. My favorite part of this question was when Blur was like, "Oh, what was Cactuar wearing? Cactuar was such and such." And such." And I was like, "His coach was Mango. Mango was next to him, not Cactuar."
But you remember
You
the
heard all the wrong
the
things.
t-shirt Cactuar was wearing, but you don't remember the winner of the tournament.
Well, Cactuar also wasn't there, so it was completely relevant what Cactuar was wearing on that given day because Cactuar was
for the
not in
wrong
frame.
reason.
Yes.
Just-
Yeah, I don't know if I knew that one. I didn't know this one.
This
This
was
is a
hard.
that's a
I
trick
think.
That's a
question.
hard
It's
one.
a trick question.
It's
It's
a
a
trick
trick
question,
question.
yeah.
It's like
It's
it's
a trick
either Hugs
question.
or Duck.
And it's and then it's not.
Yeah,
It's
but
more
I mean,
It's
even
not.
if you know Duck was not on that ranking, I mean,
I-
Even then,
even
Even
then,
then, I didn't know if it was Hugs or Morse.
yeah, I would have only guessed Morse because it's so high in the stack at that point.
Right.
Yeah. Oh my
no, there were some
God.
good questions. This one I knew.
This-
Well, because
this-
see, I
another
reasoned
tough-
this one out because here's the thing: Mango beat Cactuar in his losers run,
dude.
and so I'm
Exactly.
like, well, then he
Yeah.
probably didn't play him in pools.
That's true, but like on
Yeah.
the other hand, there was a lot of rematches back then because it was round robin pools, right?
Oh, look who we got! Look who it is.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
Oh,
Hey,
no.
big shout outs to Gimme Dat Wheat and Ambi Sinister for writing the vast majority of these questions.
Yes,
as well.
absolutely.
Yeah,
also,
We've got like
also, we should probably stop shit talking Blur, right?
Why?
I knew
Oh,
he
he's
was
he's
gonna show
Tell me
up.
why
he's
we
coming
stopped.
again. Oh, nice. Well, yeah, that I mean, there were some real tough ones in there. This is another one where I
Okay,
think
this question's not hard. Wait, Bobby, you knew this, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you go back and watch it, when he said silver, I tried to
Grimaced.
move him off of that because I was like, dude, we're gonna lose like on question 2.
see
He's about to get ejected from the hot seat.
let me see if we can get your facial reaction when he says silver.
Oh my goodness. I was like, are you serious?
Yeah, I
I mean,
was,
it's
like, making-
it's
It's okay,
Christmas
no-
box.
It's one of those things though where we've been playing this game for over 10 years. Oh, I think that there's your facial reaction. I did not think about this. I was like, I don't look at the color of his boots, dude. I don't fucking know.
I don't think you have to look at it though. It's
All I
like,
know it wasn't barefoot.
really. It's not barefoot. You've noticed that.
I knew it wasn't that one, but I was like, oh, it could be green. It could be red.
Nah, man.
I
Yeah, this
don't
is
know,
a really
man.
like this is
I
a very used color, you know.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And
Not
I don't know.
too bad.
I there's some. I like the. I actually kind
I
of like
thought
the
this one
trend
was
of-
easy.
Yeah,
you
this
guys know
was
the
pretty easy.
you guys know the which is the only Captain Falcon color that has a different design on his back. You guys
Is
know that one?
Is it
I
green?
know that one.
Red Falcon.
No.
What?
Red. Blood
Red.
Falcon. He's
What- it
a
says blood.
he's a Blood Falcon.
Yeah.
Oh,
Says
I'm thinking about the
Blood Hawk.
the green falcon has like the extra pixel on some hurt box or something.
That's true. That's
Oh,
actually
TD.
that's kind of dead.
Yeah.
Actually, that would
Holy
be like a harder question. That would be a later question.
That's
I
blue,
think.
right? That's not
I
green.
thought
That's
that was
blue.
Blue
green.
might also. I think it's green. Green
I
for
think
sure.
it's
I think
green.
maybe
I think
both
it might
of them.
be two colors.
I'm
It just,
might be
it just
two
has
I
the
think it was
wider
green.
TV. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get Arian in here. I want to shit talk him to his face.
To his face. Agreed. I hear him.
I see him and hear him.
I
yeah.
see him.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing. This
I see him.
this
I
is
worry
one
he
of
doesn't see
I
me.
Here's the thing with Millionaire is a lot of times I think people get stuck in the mindset of oh, if I know the answer, it must be easy. If I don't know the answer, oh, that was the hardest question ever.
Right.
This is an example of like, I know the answer, but this was a very hard question.
No,
This is
I
a
was telling
hard
people-
question.
I
This
was
is
telling
very
people all week.
hard.
Because Robin, here's what I realized. Okay, this is kind of interesting, and this is, I think, a path that many big tournaments take. A lot of big tournaments start in their first iteration at a college, which is in a big city,
Exactly.
because colleges in big cities, and then they move to a hotel. And then hotels, usually you want a cheap hotel that's going to be near an airport, usually away from the big cities. And then when you get really big, you got to move back into a big city for a convention center. So it was
Yes.
like Ann Arbor, big city, and then it was like, Dearborn, Romulus. My favorite one was Big House 4 was
Yes.
Dearborn? Yeah, and then
No, that was Romulus.
That was
I think
Romulus,
four
okay.
was Romulus.
Four is the only one that was in Romulus.
No, I
Here's
think
the,
this
here's
is a hard question.
the question
also
though.
never
Like
so good.
the key is, if you were to ask Hugo, if this question was instead, what city is the University of Michigan located in? Do you think he gets it? I don't know. if
I
he
don't
gets-
know. Yeah, maybe not. So maybe that just doesn't help.
Oh,
So that's
I mean,
tough.
I'm going to go on a limb. I actually still think it's not a question. It's not a question 3.
It's
Question
definitely
three
not.
is supposed to be easy,
This is
yeah.
like a
3
question
is-
6 or 7.
I think
but-
so.
Sorry, Hugo.
If you go watch like Actual Millionaire, these early questions, the first 5 questions, that they have joke answers, so that's why they're
Yeah,
easy. It would have
dude.
been like, "Where's Big House held?" One of the answers would be like the moon. Like no,
yeah.
even not even a
Antarctica.
remote possibility. Yeah, New York
Yeah.
City, Ann Arbor, Michigan. And then it's like, oh yeah, that's obvious. It's in Michigan.
Yeah, the first 5 are gimmies.
Yeah,
can we-
but
can
it's
we
it's
talk
interesting
about-
because it's because of the answers, because the wrong answers are obvious, not necessarily because you know what I mean? You can take a really hard question and make the answer obvious by having 3 obviously wrong answers.
And you could do the opposite, which was the last zoo question, because it was like, which of these players 4-stocked Nintendo? And the chat flooded, hacks money, hacks money, hacks,
Hacks
money,
money,
hacks
hacks money,
money.
hacks money.
And then they saw the answers and they're like, oh,
Oh yeah,
Ooh,
yeah.
ooh.
Which one? Is like Hacks Money is not an
wait a
answer.
minute. Yeah, so where's hacks? Hang on a minute. Yeah. That shit was I knew that one, by the way, and I remembered he lost the set, which was very remarkable. And it was
I saw
in
you say that in chat.
2014.
I agree with you,
14.
Toph. There has to be a name for like you got 4 stock but still won the set. We need to coin something for that. 'cause that
I
happens
thought there
like-
was already a name for it. I don't know why.
I can't think of it.
It's
Right.
happened to me both sides of it. So
Well, so, me too. Yeah, me too.
Me too.
Damn.
Yeah, somber.
Blur, are you in here?
Yo, what's up?
Yes. All right. Let's keep shit talking him this time to his face.
nice.
Look, here's the thing. I did get that question right.
Oh,
Alright,
you got to
question-
Ninja.
What the pound 3 question or which one?
The Apex question, the Javi question, right?
You got it right after. Okay. All right. Hold on a sec. We need to tell the
Toby, you
people
can-
the truth.
You
need
can
to
mute
tell
him in
people.
OBS Ninja just so you know. I just did that.
Can I? How do I
Blur,
do it?
Yeah.
Blur
Just
was
hover
on
over
this
him, you'll see
question.
it.
Yeah, I see it. All right.
I muted myself. I got it.
All right.
Ra-
Tough you on.
Okay, Radar and the good editors put this question like they cut it down to like 5 minutes. My man Arian was in there for like half an hour on this question.
13
Okay.
minutes.
Blur,
13
how
minutes.
did you
Thank
mix
you.
up 2012 and 2014 of all years? Because those were 2 different
Oh,
venues.
I'm sorry, Mr. Genesis 789. You guys got every single year
Okay.
wrong. What are you talking about?
Well, so
That-
Genesis, the more recent Genesis, no, I can explain this. The more recent Genesis were in the same venue. So I'm specifically asking, how do you mix up those 2 years? Because they were in different venues, and I thought that would have made it. I'm not.
Arian, this is very clearly Apex 2014 happened in January 2014. It's very clear cut. When I tell you Genesis 6 off the top of your head,
Yes,
you can't immediately think, oh, that was 2018 or 2019, right?
Thank you, Rob. By the way, Rob,
No.
Rob,
They got Summit 8 wrong for when Axe won. Your Summit 10 was the last one. The one before that Xbox one. The one before that Axe one.
Because sometimes there's 2 summits in 1 year. I don't fucking know if Smash Summit 6 was in
I
2018
love
or
Robin
19.
just defending me.
The
This is so
difference
hype.
is the difference
I love
is
Robin
I
just
brain
defending me.
farted.
Thank you, Robin.
The difference is I brain farted and I got the question right anyway. They just
No, you
legitimately
had
just got
13
it
minutes.
wrong.
Blur, I had 5 seconds to answer in
Hey,
Jeopardy.
oh,
You had 13
hey,
minutes.
You also had
You had-
5 questions.
You had like 6,500% the time
You
to
also
think
have-
about it. I would have
Don't-
gone if I had 13 minutes. I would have thought about it. I would have very clearly traced which year was which. You had 13 minutes. I had 5 seconds.
You
I
didn't know who
just put the answer
Thorn
out.
was. You didn't know who Thorn was. My dog is Thorn.
No,
Well, I know
because
Thor.
because Dark has always been ranked higher than Dark has been ranked higher
Bro,
than
Starts
Thorn
with
for most years.
T. Starts with T.
Yeah, but I was thinking Pingamain, you know.
We,
No,
they didn't- for the
no,
first
bro.
game,
I'm just
That is
sensing some
the-
salt from Blur.
the
That's all it is.
we didn't know
Fucking
that it
did
started
it.
with that letter.
Yeah. To be fair, I do
I
think
thought
the
Lard was a
crossword
funny
clues
answer.
were the hardest category.
Which ones?
The crossword clues were the hardest category.
Crossword clues is hard. Oh, I thought Robin. I thought the M ones were harder than the T. I thought you had the harder board than we did for that.
Okay, that was the
Oh,
first
man.
recording, and none of us actually knew it started with M, so that made it doubly hard.
Yeah.
I would have missed Michael. I would have missed Michael for sure. I saw immovable object, and they were beating me on the buzzer all day. So I was like, I'm just gonna fucking buzz and try to think about it in the 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Mm.
I gotta watch this.
It's fun. It was fun.
I
It
haven't
doesn't
watched
help.
the
The
second Jeopardy.
Metagame documentary it literally told us that Armada was the immovable object, and I watched that the day before.
And defeater of yellow fruit. You're thinking yellow
like,
mangoes are
wait.
kind of yellow on the
I
inside.
didn't know
Movable object.
if
Defeater of
it
yellow
was-
fruit.
Is it orange or yellow fruit? I don't fucking know.
I don't know. Orange, yellowish orange. I don't know.
All right, we should probably take a break a little bit.
God. I'm done.
let's
Done.
let's continue this after a little break, and yeah, we'll be right back.
All right.
Follow your lead.
Welcome back with it to the Melee at Omni podcast. I was kind of riffed on that one. So yeah, we got a agenda. We got some stuff to talk about. We can't just rip on Blur all night for choking in the hot seat for 13
As much
minutes.
as I'd love to.
As much as we'd love to. We're gonna read some donos at some point. I can actually start that off because we got some dono questions. We can do that. And yeah, from Anonymous, what are each of you guys most excited for looking toward next year? I'm actually really excited to hear from the TOs on this one. But yeah, let's go 2021. Robin or Sharon, you guys want to take this?
Ooh, what are each of you guys most excited about for 2021? That's the question.
Yeah, for 2021.
Dude, it's so hard to say because like this COVID thing, it kind of informs everything, right? Are we even going to have in-person events? So assuming we have in-person events, I think people are going to be really excited because like the amount of content that has come from the last month, just with random developments, Nintendo, whatever, 5 days of Melee, I think will get people excited. And the goal, I think, with a lot of this content is like, as a TO, I always want people to tune into the stream and be like, you know what, I want to go to that event next year. It looks really fun. And I hope that's like a ripple effect for overall people going to tournaments.
What I'm hoping is that there's going to be a desire to stimulate the economy through like getting people to attend live events, because like so much as money is spent at live events. Like I've seen the reports that the city of Oakland does for how much is spent in Oakland because of Genesis, and it brings in a lot of money for it. So I'm hoping that like it'll bring in more sponsors to help like TOs make their events happen, deliver more for attendees and stuff like that.
See, I'm so glad I tossed this to the TOs of this one. I was going to say I'm looking forward to watching Zane slice some people.
Nice. You know what I'm most excited for, but it might just be because it's today. Dude, those overlays. I'm excited about those. With like the new percent.
Those are sick.
Those are filthy. That opens up so much potential.
Dude, no. Someone was like, because imagine like event-specific overlays.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm excited. That's what I'm excited for right now for 2021 is production value.
Yeah, I'm hyped for that.
Yeah. Dude, I think this one feels obvious. This is the low-hanging fruit, but all the improvements that Slippy's making, like
doubles.
First of all, we should
doubles.
It feels like it's happening so fast. It's kind of disgusting. We were getting like spectator doubles, like all these things happen in like a 3-4 month period of time. Rollback just happened. It feels like to me still. And then we get ranked. I mean, what else can you ask for?
Dude, I popped in this fucking. We got like a Discord for like West Coast Melee doubles. By the way, if any of you guys are not in that, like, I will send you the invite later. But I like popped in there like 2 a.m. last night, and it was like Ralph, Dark Atma, Silent Spectre, Tang were in like a Discord call.
What?
Whoa!
Oh my god!
I was like, oh, it's like that.
Some real teams going on.
Some real teams going on. I know. That's what I'm saying. I was like, okay, that's exciting. That's cool. And I asked my boy Binion, Dark Atma, I was like, how is it? He's like, it's good. It's great. So yeah, that's like.
And the thing maybe that's most exciting about it is, so there's a thread on our SSBM. It's one of the best threads I've seen on it in a while, which has, hey, for the people who are just lurking, just spectating, like, why aren't you playing Melee? And the routine answer literally was 400 comments all saying the same thing, which is, Melee's hard. I get bodied every time I play, right? And so, like, I'm like, well, with ranked, and Fizzy talked about this little on Twitter, of like, if we can make unranked slightly ranked, which is like, there's like a hidden ELO where like when new players pop in, they don't just like get mashed up with, Leffen and stuff. That I think would do a lot. Like, if it can do its own little self-selection to be able to detect its noobs, and then the noobs play each other, I think that would just make everything a lot better. And it would actually keep our retention so much higher.
Can I just point out that ELO is not an acronym?
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, it's actually just ELO. Yeah. I just say MMR.
Yeah, MMR. But yeah,
like
like Hearthstone has casual and ranked, but casual has a hidden MMR.
MMR,
yeah. So I think something like that is worthwhile too.
No, that's gonna change the game. I was in a Twitch chat the other night, and this person's been playing Melee for like a month, she said, and apparently in their chat there were like 5 or 6 people or 7 people who had all started very recently. And it got me thinking about like kind of the new player experience. Like I did a guide on my YouTube channel about like neutral game, but it was more targeted towards mid-level players. And it got me thinking like, I want to start making content for literal newcomers. And I feel like there's a real market for that right now. And it's a great
I
opportunity.
love that.
Really, you're completely new. How do you get started? How do you even, I was talking to PP about it. Yeah, I think there's going to be a level up in the production value of some of this content next year.
Yeah, and we talked about on our show earlier in the week about the net play to real life tournament pipelines. That's that's another thing I'm excited about when tournaments eventually come back is what is it going to look like when we get all the net play monsters? Hopefully, like what can we do to bring them in to tournaments and just show them what like our scene has to offer them.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, okay.
You know what I'm waiting for? I'm waiting for the day where somebody loses on like CRT and it's just like, dude, see me on rollback. See me on rollback, dude. This is bullshit. This is bullshit CRT. See me on rollback, dude.
See me on the rollback.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it, dude. That's so sick.
We're talking about all this like scene level stuff, but me personally, like I got 240 hertz monitors right here. My controller's on its way. I'm like really excited about Melee on a personal level. Like I just want to.
You want to play,
dude? I'm trying to play.
You're trying to first to 5 at Marth is what you're trying to do for money. I think, right? Blair?
Yeah, but I'm gonna have to relearn the game. The new controller that's coming.
I just heard, but
I'm gonna relearn the whole game. I'm starting from scratch.
Starting from scratch. You've been there since 2005.
Okay, Robin. So what you're saying is I don't lose anything by starting from scratch. So.
Exactly.
I don't understand.
There's no sunk cost associated with this starting from scratch.
At a certain point, I was gonna say at a certain point, this is actually one thing I thought Metagame did extremely well when I was watching. I was like, man. I'm sure you guys got this vibe too, but I was watching Metagame and I was just like, this is really making me miss IRL tournaments. I was really like, I miss offline tournaments watching this.
Never seen that perspective before. This, like some of the footage.
Oh
yeah, I'm gonna get caught just watching this.
Just.
Oh, you've got the little cam. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got the screen of it. Man, some of my favorite parts of that were just like the simulated gameplay of like if they didn't have footage for something, they had like little simulated gameplay of it. It was fantastic. I love seeing that.
I want to say Practical Task did a lot of that, so shout outs to him.
Dude,
okay, one of the things the nerd who got the Azen versus Mango detail right, where there's a greens block that explodes, and Mango that partially is what helped Mango beat Azen. I've heard.
I remember hearing about that. I've heard about that.
It's told me that before. Even if I think Azen was the wrong character, but still, like just because they got that detail, I was super impressed.
Dude, my favorite part was actually super simple. The Armada Android storyline. Just like the whole story about when Armada came back from his first retirement.
I didn't know that.
It had to do with teaming with his brother. I don't know. I just thought it was beautiful. Like I was tearing up over there.
I didn't
those
know.
Guys are super cute.
I didn't know Android had such a big part. I also didn't know Prague had such a big part. I didn't know it was a text message conversation with Prague.
That was so sick, right? Like I liked it.
That was great. Yeah, Armada was like definitely Armada was just such a great interview throughout the whole thing. I just love hearing him talk about just so clear and just he really like he could really like recall how he felt in every moment of like every important part of his life, and it was just a complete joy to hear from him about it.
Totally agree.
So Sheridan, you actually tweeted this, so I'm kind of like how do you say? I'm ripping you off here on this one, but I'm gonna echo it. Watching Metagame really like reminded me very viscerally how good Bobby is on camera.
Yeah.
Bobby's interviews super on point. No. There's literal sections of Metagame that I don't think could have been possible without Bobby's
anyone else.
segments.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, it was not just that, but we were also recording like the millionaire segments at the same time, and just both of those things together, just
Okay, Bobby, I have a question.
Dang.
This is a little bit of an aside, but Bobby, like when I first heard your ROM commentary about Jigglypuff, and this was right, like that we waited for on Homemade Waffles channel or whatever.
It was.
I remember the first time I listened to your commentary, and I was a little bit confused. I was like, this person. It's kind of like when you go to like a stand-up show and a comedian is like constantly shitting on something, but you know they're not 100% serious, but they're just so good at like nailing down and shitting on that thing. So I was like, is he being a comedian or is this just like his thing?
Dude, I swear I was trying to be a comedian, but I also
I knew it.
also hated Puff, but I thought I was being funny.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh,
I was
there's
very.
always.
I'll tell you the truth. I was surprised by the reaction to my commentary. That it was, they were like, "Wow, this guy sucks so much."
Oh my
the
God.
whole time,
Dude,
I thought people were like, "Oh, damn, Scar's so funny. He's making all these great jokes about Puff."
dude, I remember reading that thread and having not met you at that point, and me and all of NorCal hated Scar. Hated that thread. Hated that commentary. I mean, not a lot of the people that I play with like Brawl, but we hated your like Brawl sucks threads on Smash Bros or whatever. And then I remember when it was announced that Bobby was moving to NorCal. We were gonna have to deal with Bobby every tournament.
It is very surreal going back to like the Genesis 1 crew battles on like Google Videos or whatever platform it was on back then, and seeing like East Coast Scar sending in versus West Coast Pink Shinobi, and the audio starts and everyone's like, "Fuck East Coast, fuck Scar." Like, what's happening here?
When did it come to this? I hate this. When did our friend group become this? We made fun of Blair for fucking the Javi PP question, but Bobby's ROM commentary was somehow good? Are you fucking kidding me? I can't wait for this fucking controller. I swear to God. It's gonna be great. Next year it's gonna be the year of the Blur. I swear to God. I hate everybody.
Oh my God, dude. Oh my God, dude.
Should we do more questions?
This controller's gonna be great.
Yeah. Oh my God,
I can't
dude.
wait.
Ooh.
Oh shit, are we really?
2,000 bills away.
2K?
We're gonna hit it. We're gonna hit it.
Shit.
I was getting ready to do it myself, but I don't think y'all need me.
I'm gonna drop a donut bomb at some point, I think.
Oh shit! Next
So
question.
I'll just say we're 2K away from the 50K goal.
Or you didn't even let Sheridan finish the story about me. I
Oh,
thought
go,
he was
go,
going
go.
to correct me.
Oh,
Sheridan
I totally
didn't
forgot
hate
we
me
were
at the
even.
end
We
of
got
the
so
day. I was
sidetracked.
like,
It's
"No,
so
I
important."
came-
Yeah, I mean,
Go ahead.
I
Go
was,
ahead.
I was just gonna finish it up by saying, like, within one Smash Fest of Bobby moving here, I knew that he was gonna be my friend. I knew he was gonna be everybody in
Oh my
NorCal's friend.
fucking.
I knew that West Coast Scar was completely different East Coast Scar.
And it's true. It is true. I mean, I changed. I can't believe I changed that much, though. I resisted saying hella as much as I could.
Oh my God, dude. Poor Blur.
I hate it, dude.
Blur.
This controller's gonna change everything.
Blur
This
reminds
controller's
me
gonna
of
change everything.
Blur reminds me of like Squidward from SpongeBob or something.
My first time meeting Blur is literally at he was still on the East Coast, and we met up like Michigan and East Coast. The center point is Pittsburgh. We met at a Pittsburgh tournament, and I overheard this guy saying, "Oh, Duck, let's go! I'm gonna force talk that guy. Money match. Sam is my best matchup, by the way." And I was like, I overheard this. I was like, "Oh shit, who is this?" I pull up a seat next to him, and there was indeed a force talk on the screen. However, Blur was on the
See, Dunk was a little bit better than I thought he was. All right, he turned out to be pretty good. All right.
Oh my God, Bobby! The way you ended this episode, this is maybe your best line. It was like, I turned to HBK, and I asked him, "Is Mango the best player in the world?" Oh my God, I got chills.
It happened.
Shit.
It happened.
Dude, that was
leaving,
so good.
I remember walking out of the venue because y'all remember old tournaments where people are holding the CRTs. You know, there's like people are outside of the front of the venue.
Yeah,
I remember me and HBK. We were like walking out. We were like at the front door of the Toy Wiz,
The toy
Toy
whiz.
whiz.
And it was just
The
like
toy
it
whiz.
was like it was like integrating in my mind. You know, I was like,
The
because
neurons
I
were
didn't want to.
connecting.
I am a Mewtwo. I was and am a Mewtwo King fanboy. I did not want to believe that anybody could be better than him,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but I had it right in my face. It was not close. It was ugly.
I think all of
Yeah.
us have encountered like those truths that we discover. And, for a lot of us, it might be about, history or politics or personal or something that just like kind of bring a new reality to us in an instant and just changes
Yeah.
the way we take everything in. And I got exactly that feeling from how you put it in that episode.
Did I say in
Yeah.
the documentary that we rigged the bracket against Mango? Did we talk about that, or is that still? Did that not make it?
No, can you mention that? And by
I
the way,
rigged-
real
I
quick,
feel
I'm
like
gonna
I
say
rigged
heard
the
that.
bracket. Mango had to play PC Chris. He had to play Shiz.
I feel like that was in there.
Like
Yeah,
fucking
everyone.
everybody. He had to play everybody. He beat my Falcon and Falcon Ditto. So yeah, I had my.
We
like,
just hit
round
50K!
versus-
Compy.
Oh my god!
We just hit
Nice.
50K!
We actually had
Oh my God.
51K.
Matt.Zep. Matt.Zep.
So-
It just came to you one day. Hey, let's do 5 days of Melee. Let's try to raise 50 G's for charity. And somehow you grabbed hold of the future and you made a new reality true. We all
Somehow,
did,
dude.
but
Dude,
Somehow.
do you know between this and LACS this weekend, that means this week that raised like 130 or something for charity?
Oh yeah,
Right?
You think of it that
shut
way.
us
Oh,
shut us
God.
down. Shut us down, Nintendo. Shut us
It's
down.
insane. It's insane.
See me, homie.
Oh my
Kid
goodness.
just raised 130 G's for charity. You want to shut us down? Let's go.
Well, they can try. But I mean, crazy. It's crazy. This whole thing. It's like everybody got energized
Yeah.
into something. There had to be a way to direct our energy,
Mhm.
and here we are. This was it.
This is it. Congratulations to us.
Seriously, good job, everybody, and to the community. Thank you for chipping in and being a part
Thank
of
you
all
all.
of this.
Every single one of you. Every single one of you.
Melee community is so dope.
It really is. I can't think of another community that would have been able to do this. I mean, well, I shouldn't say that because biggest shout outs to Splatoon. They literally turned over a broadcast in like 12 hours, like 2 weeks ago, or like a week ago. Was that a week ago? Whatever it was. Very recently.
Time
there's
has been
so much
flying
happening.
recently. This December, a lot of
Yeah.
things have happened this December.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
speed running, games done quick and stuff like that. There have been a lot of phenomenal events for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, Melee, I think has always been a community I've been, overall very proud to call home.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, this is just another kind of moment like that. Dude,
You
Bob, I
know-
was talking on the. Oh, go ahead, Sheridan. You go.
I was just gonna say, it's been said that there are decades where nothing happens and weeks where decades happen.
Mm.
This kind of feels like some of those weeks, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feels like one of those weeks. I was gonna say Bobby. I was talking to PP the other day, and we were talking about how, there was the era where you did the Spirit Bomb. You founded MIOM, which we're doing right now, and it felt like because this was featured prominently in the first documentary as well. Like there was a kind of a period of our history where we were, as a community, we were using bad language, like language that we didn't realize was very problematic. And it felt like, and PP said something that I didn't even really I never verbalized. I never really verbalized this, but I realized it was so true. It felt like that language kind of stopped being used overnight. We went to Facebook. It felt like a very, very fast paradigm shift. It really felt like the leadership, which was really you, Bobby, at the time,
Dude,
said we gotta cut this shit out. It's not cool. It's ostracizing people, and it's making us all look bad for one thing, and it's also making people feel bad. And we got to.
I give so much credit. Scar and Prague, I think I give so much credit to them for that, because I think that moment that
So true though.
Wait, I can't hear Robin anymore.
Yeah, I lost Robin too.
Did he freeze?
Okay, I thought that was just me.
Yeah, Rob's
Okay.
internet's so
Yeah.
bad.
He's getting owned, dude.
Yeah.
We lost him. All right. But
You
yeah,
know
no,
what
it was.
else? Yeah.
Go ahead.
It felt like
I
it
was-
was quick.
It felt like it was it felt like overnight. It felt like within the span of a week, people stopped. And it felt like within the span of a week, if you were still using that kind of language, it wasn't cool.
Yeah,
I was like,
something
wow.
did happen. It's like the
That is
dominoes
very-
just
I don't
fell
think that
over.
happens in most communities very quickly. TBH.
Yeah, I
don't know
mean-
what it was.
I've thought about this a lot in my life, but one of the things I always felt was like an opportunity for us because we're smaller, because we know each other, because we have like a foundation of trust, like we can change. Where when I think about like America can't really change the way that a small. I mean, the smaller it is, the faster. But I don't know. I always just felt like we could be better, and we like should be. We should strive to be better than the mainstream culture. And that's one of the things that makes me super proud is that I think in a lot of ways we are. Mainstream culture is ass, so like
Yeah.
we're like over a very low bar, but the fact that we're over it is like really dope. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I really think it's just how interconnected the entire community is compared to other ones, especially since, for the vast majority of our lifetimes, we've been playing in person with each other. And
Yeah.
that just allows the connections to develop like much more tightly. And, still somehow I feel like we still like everybody kind of knows everybody, even in 2020.
Yeah.
I mean,
And I think that
it's
like the games all gets given us all so much, and like when people realize
A lot of it was just because we're so interconnected, like everybody probably knew somebody who genuinely felt affected by that language. And it was no longer something that somebody out there who I don't have to hear about is affected. It's somebody that I know personally, and I'm
yeah,
seeing like how it affects them directly. And when you see that, it's a much stronger
Like
it's much
feedback.
stronger, exactly. It's much stronger feedback towards you and what you want to do and how you want to treat other people.
Hey guys, real quick, I just heard that our friends at Smash EG are teeing something up for us. They have
shit.
this whole week they've been, and I don't know if you've seen the shop, but within that, when you purchase something, you can put anything over just like the raw cost of the product into a donation goal, either into the staff budget, which people have been very generous to do, but also into a spirit bomb that's been building all week. And I believe that is something that they're planning on dropping in just a moment.
Oh wow.
Oh, so we're gonna crush this
Filthy.
then.
So
gonna
like
crush this.
we're so wait, you're saying like we already beat 50K, but you're saying like it's gonna go over that.
Oh yeah. Well, right now I'm seeing it at 51.
50, yeah.
Ooh, I see it way higher now.
Filthy.
There,
Filthy.
there it is.
Well, I don't see it.
55 now.
Oh wow. Oh
Mhm.
wow.
Mm.
Damn.
Crushed.
Holy crap. 55K. Oh my god.
That's so crazy.
I'm getting Spirit Bomb vibes.
Yeah.
What a
Dude,
night.
over the course of a week. Yeah, what a night. This is great.
Mm-hmm.
You know what else happened overnight? After Melee was at Evo, every major tournament started using the top 8 format. I swear that was not a thing in Smash
Yeah.
before Evo.
It
And
wasn't.
then every single tournament afterwards, we're like, oh, okay, we're doing
so
top 8s
dope.
from now on. Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing top 8s. That's a thing now.
Yeah.
You know what else Evo made people do? Is unban wobbling.
But you know who got you know who
There's-
nixed that decision.
The one person who's gonna hold on to that one.
Pros and cons to that whole Evo situation.
Dude, we got a couple other dono questions. Should we go through these? Some of these are kind of hype.
Yeah.
I don't think we should each answer them because like there's too many.
But just
many.
to put a bow before we move on to that, that was a $4,142 donation. That was Spirit Bomb. That's what that was.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Shout outs and congratulations to everybody at Smash GG and everybody in the shop who contributed to that. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And Comfy, actually, right before.
And Comfy.
How much have you put into it? I don't want to know. I don't want to know how much Comfy is taken out of their pocket. But thank you. You put $3,000 a couple minutes before the Smash GG one as well. That's insane. It's $7,000 bumped up in the last 10 minutes or something.
Nice.
Then
Yeah. So we should go through the questions, right?
I'm down.
Sure.
All right, Tustin Archer, $20. Where do you guys see Melee 5 years from now?
Ooh, I know where Blur's gonna be 5 years from now. Same skill level.
Wow, that was so fast.
Yeah, there's.
I'm so sorry. I had to.
Oh
I
my
had to.
God.
I'm so sorry.
It
How did
doesn't
you
even
do
make
Wow.
How did
sense.
you do that fast?
That made
I'm-
sense.
I'm
That
getting
did make sense to me.
I'm getting better.
I'm starting to feel bad.
Go on.
Jesus Christ.
Just hammer at him.
Oh my god, that was
Dude.
highly unnecessary.
Got crushed.
Oh my gosh.
Next question.
Next question. I think we're gonna be just fine 5 years from now.
Yeah.
All right, Twitch's web. The homie, legendary stream monster. I think we all know Twitch's web. Twitch's web, $10. Ask, what was your first tournament experience like? Yeah, I'll take this one. I drove through I'll talk about my first out-of-state tournament. I drove 15 hours from Seattle to Alberta, Canada, through a blizzard. I hit an ice patch. There was a ditch on the right side of the road, and I was driving. And I hit this ice patch. The car did a full 360. I was driving my roommate's car. And Silent Wolf was asleep in the back seat, as was Eggs. And as I was doing a literal 360 because I had no control of the vehicle, Eggs woke up and yelled, "Toph likes to party," which is what Eggs would do. That was very on brand for him. And I righted the car. We did not go off the ditch, so we did not die. And then after that, my roommate was like, "Oh, by the way, you can push that button to turn on 4-wheel drive." I was like, "Thanks for telling me that earlier." So I didn't die. I made it as far as this, but it was very close. And boy, am I ever! And I would totally do it again.
Hell yeah!
Wow.
That's what it was like traveling to tournaments back then. I feel like those stories, you don't get those stories anymore. Because
I miss the NorCal SoCal road trips. Oh my god, just adventures of legends. Were they not, Toph?
Is that what, 6 hours?
a lot
6
of
hour drive?
6-hour drive. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was definitely one tournament in Pittsburgh that I went to. Pac-Man and I won the turn. We got first and second. I won. We won teams, but I got a nasty speeding ticket on the way home. So he gave me his winnings, and we paid that speeding ticket.
That's sweet of him.
That's the
Pac-Man
classic
knows. Pac-Man.
Smash thing. Is you take your $100 tournament winnings from 2011 or whatever, and you use it to spend it on, like, on the restaurant bill for your homies afterwards, or to pay the speeding ticket that you got if you're Scar. This is not my first tournament, but I think one of my first out-of-state tournaments was so I grew up in Chicago, but then I moved to Michigan, so I would always go back to Chicago. Had a lot of friends there. I went, like, I'm a Brawl baby, right? This is 2008. I go to Chicago for a Brawl and Melee tournament, like a dual tournament. I was like, you know what? I'll enter Melee. Melee's kind of sick. And like, that is the tournament where I got converted into like a Melee player instead of a Brawl player. And I remember meeting Kells and Big D. Those are the two, like, in my mind, I remember these conversations so vividly. And those two were so nice, even though they absolutely shit all over me. They like 3 and 4 stocked me. Went 0-2 in pools, obviously. And then they were just so nice. I was like, you know what? I think I'm a Melee player.
Yeah.
Wow.
Big D is that dude's the homie. He actually hit me up recently.
Really?
He's doing well.
My
the myth, Kelly Smith. Let's go.
Big D I was just going to clarify. You probably mean Big D the Midwest Falcon, by the way, not Big D the Vancouver BC Ice Climbers. Although that guy's a homie too. Shout out to Dawson.
Oh, I didn't know there was another one. But yeah, Big D the old Midwest Falco player.
The super homie. I'm having a really hard time checking out and buying these 2 shirts. I'm so angry right now. I just want y'all to know.
Blur, you go.
I'm trying to say my first tournament. My first tournament was MLGDC, and I don't know if I actually plugged into a setup because I was a young kid, and I was like, I just was nervous. I'm relatively sure, like, the entire every single second, I was basically like a fly following Ken around. I don't know if I literally left his side. Ken and Azen, literally, I just followed him around, but it was mostly Ken. And my second tournament, this is one of the top 5 most embarrassing moments in Blur's life.
Oh no.
Okay.
I was doing the same thing. I was doing the same thing with it is actually. I was doing the same thing with Azen, right? But for whatever reason, he was playing Umbreon Mao. They were like hella scooched back, and I was, I don't know, oblivious. and I walked through their setup, through their controller cords, and it unplugged their controller, the GameCube, everything just ripped apart.
Oh.
Like I somehow went in front of them.
Oh.
Like they were that far scooted back, and everything unplugged. And like while they were in the middle of playing, and I just kind of looked at them, and they were like, "What the hell?" And I just like didn't say anything, and I walked away. That was the second part.
Sad move. Sad move, Blur.
Wow.
Bad
That was the
move.
second
Blur's
part.
like, what, Mal? What do
Yeah.
you want to say
Yeah.
to me, Mal?
What are you gonna do? Tell the TL.
I just imagine Blur doing that, looking him over, just like, and then just walking away.
I just walked away in shame, dude. It was so sad. I was like, no.
No, that's a power move. You showed him what's what.
And it happened to be Azan. You don't understand. Azan and Ken were my guys, right? Like, so the fact that it was him, it made me like mortified for the rest of the day. Terrible.
You know, Azan just stared at him blankly, like disappointed.
He didn't say anything. It's the worst.
Exactly. I can just imagine it.
Umbreon Mao was all judgy. Even when that guy's happy, he's judgy.
Oh yeah.
You know,
You know
so
what?
it was terrible.
He was a fearsome presence on Smashboards. Let me
Yeah,
tell
he's a
you.
nice guy.
Yeah,
I
agreed.
like him. He's a good guy.
Agreed.
It was fun.
Yeah, more questions.
Oh yeah, more questions. Okay, $10 from Mosh. I guess we can do this a little. We can just make this a quick one. What are each of you most proud of in Melee? Wow.
2-0ing the Crimson Blur in our only ever tournament
Jesus
set.
Christ. We've played before.
Ruffin, you need to set a higher bar for yourself.
We've
Yeah.
never.
We
I don't
can
think
we
stop
played.
Robin. That's really what's gonna happen here. We just
Yeah,
gotta
that's
stop
the-
doing it to him.
We got to stop feeding this beast.
Mine's definitely the community, man. Mine's definitely just all the people. Like I remember during the Spirit Bomb, I've been thinking about it recently because the new doc came out and stuff, and I don't know, man. It was just like people from back in the day who came back at the Twitch chat. It just felt like we were lighting the beacons of Gondor. It just felt so
Mhm.
sick.
Mhm.
I was talking to Rob recently. I don't think I said this on stream yet, but okay, I think it's Ramana Maharshi. I don't know if that's exactly the right name, but it's a dude who famously reached enlightenment by like contemplating his own death. So he's thinking about, okay, like if I'm dead, like there's no more body, there's no more mind, it's like what is left? And I was thinking about like, dude, even if Nintendo, even if Melee the game was evaporated from the universe, the relationships we forge, you know what I mean? The community, the bonds, that would still be there. We just start playing chess as the Melee community. Like we still
Absolutely.
exist
That's
even
so
without the
sick.
game. I think that's just so insane.
This is exactly what I told Bobby on our call. I think if it could be the year 2077, and it could be a donut eating contest, and Bobby and Toph would be commentating it very enthusiastically. Me, Sheridan, Matt, and Blur would be like around side betting, rooting for Mango versus like it doesn't matter what it would be.
Let's go,
We'd be
It
TOing.
doesn't have to be Melee. It's the community.
Yeah.
That's actually a great point. Maybe the thing I'm most proud of is how much money I've made over in side bets over the years, especially over Robin. Robin is a fucking piggy bank.
No.
Yeah. I used to before Twitch, I used to pay for every single tournament, all my flights, everything from just side bets, and it would be the biggest hustle of all time. I'd make more money than the people who won the tournament. It was nasty.
The sad part is that's probably true.
It is true. You saw me, dude. I was nuts.
Dude, live tournament side betting though is so much fun.
Really
That's one of
fun.
my favorite parts
Oh,
of
it's
streaming.
so
You
fun.
Stand up like, all right, who's got who? You know.
Oh, it's so fun.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Yeah. And
All right.
I mean, I think the answer from me is just the same as everybody else. Is just what we've done with Genesis and just where we started and where we are now and what we've been able to deliver to the community. I just feel like I'm just so happy that like we've been able to like, cause I've had just amazing experiences in the Smash community, like my girlfriend, my job, my friends, so many things like I owe to the Smash community. And I know that Genesis has been the place where like some of those bonds have been formed for new people in the community. It's going to lead to just some amazing things.
Yeah.
Love
Wholesome.
Genesis.
Wholesome answer. I like
True.
it.
Good answer. Good answer. That Bobby, your
But
answer,
in-
that answer was so sick that you just said. Sorry, go ahead.
I
Jeremy.
love dropping.
I was just
those.
going to say, in gameplay wise, it has to be Shine 2016 crew battles and helping NorCal
My God.
Silent Wolf and the NorCals.
Silent Wolf and the NorCals. Oh, I was rooting for you guys.
Sheridan, you've had some crew battle moments. Is that just like you just
I was
in crew
explaining-
battles?
It's a puff thing.
Sheridan,
It's a puff thing.
Sheridan,
Absolutely.
do you agree with me? So I was explaining to my crew earlier because Magi won the Smash Sisters crew battles without having to go in, and I was explaining to my chat because they were like, "Poor Magi, she didn't get to play," and I was explaining to my chat that I think one of the best feelings actually in a crew battle is getting to win crew battles without having to play. Do you agree with me,
Yeah.
Sheridan? Because there was a very
Oh
famous
yeah. Yes. Was that Pat's House 2?
Pat's House 2, NorCal versus
Yes.
SoCal.
Yes.
When Sheridan captained his way into not even having to fucking play NorCal versus SoCal. That was some
And
good
because
stuff.
of that, Hugs agreed to be co-captain with me when we did the MLG East Coast versus West Coast crew battle, which is to my mind still the actual greatest East Coast
Crew
versus
battle.
West Coast
Yeah,
crew battle.
because
Even
Mango
bigger
took
than FC3.
Mango took 9 stocks off of 3 gods.
FC is a massive
shit made no
nostalgia
sense.
trip though, for sure.
Yeah.
FC is like big time nostalgia, but yeah.
But I just love
Yeah.
the way that the MLG crew battle started with just like 5 foxes in a row. And people were just like, okay, well, all the foxes are gone now. What's going to happen? And it's like, you use fox to counter everything. And now all the foxes are gone. Where are we going to go from here? Just one of my favorite experiences, and maybe my second most proud Melee accomplishment is helping win that crew battle.
Hell yeah.
Nice. That's a really
Yeah.
cool answer.
Yeah,
That's a really cool answer.
did really good.
We should take a break, but more questions after this, right? I'm looking at our LACS3 preview and more questions from our trusty producers. So stay tuned.
What is up with it? We are back, probably one last time. What's good? We're gonna read a little bit more. We're gonna do another question, and then is that the idea? I'm pretty sure
Read
that's the
like
idea.
some questions / some donos because we have
I'm
some
interested
donos.
in this next question. How will online ranked affect the scope of MIOM top 10?
We got to do at least one more question than that because there's one more question further down I'm very interested in.
Okay.
But let's do that one first. Let's do that one first.
I mean, I think it's gonna be pretty interesting to see how it goes. Like, I mean, it's gonna become like a de facto like system. I don't think you can discount it. You know, there has to be something that gets factored into rankings. Absolutely, like it's effectively playing on LAN at this point. You know,
I'll Sheridan's
I-
making a face.
Yeah, I still feel like, I mean, this is all contingent on events coming back. Once events are back, I feel like the top 100, I don't know, I still feel like it's got to be tournament results. It's got to
Do
be.
you think online
offline,
tournaments as well?
offline. I think it's different enough for right now.
Very good question.
I feel like online tournaments are different than ranked. So that's the only thing that I would say.
Yeah, tourneys are different than ranked. I agree.
Well,
I want to say like COVID affects this year. Like I do think we should use online rankings. Online results for the rankings this year if there
Sure.
is one, just because of COVID. But like when there's both in 2021 or 2022, I'm not really sure.
Well, because like here's the thing, right? Offline tournaments come back. You're not going to seed IBW outside of the top 5. That just doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Like,
Or Hungry
pretty
Box.
clearly, because like if I had to play IBW early because we're using his offline results before he was like a top 3 player, I'd be mad. I'd be like, why do I have to play Cody this early? This doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
So I feel like the important thing is to find some way to reward the people that have been grinding. There's certain people, Plup, HBox, that kind of just haven't been playing as hard or trying as hard or doing as well because of kind of circumstances. They don't vibe with it. I think it's more important to reward the people that are doing really well and reward them for, I mean, if nothing else, it punishes the people that have to play them if they were seeded poorly. While not penalizing, I think, the people that are doing poorly too harshly, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If there's
that
some
makes
way to
sense.
strike that balance, I think that's the happy medium, and I think everyone's okay with that. Leffen can't come to U.S. tournaments, okay, or play online with you in U.S. online tournaments. Well, he's still probably really good, so probably we shouldn't go full recent online results. He's not inactive,
Right.
I will say this though, I'm really excited for rank. It seems like all the top players are going to be pushing for those top spots, and even though it's not tournament results, I think people are going to care. I think Mango and Zane are going to be beefing for that number 1 spot. I cannot wait to see the content that comes out of that.
Dang,
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to play ranked.
I'm very interested in
Ooh, I'm
the-
gonna have to play, dude.
I'm gonna play ranked, dude.
ranked.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm gonna play
no.
rank. I'm
It's gonna be
fucking down. I'm ready.
stressful.
I wonder if we're gonna have to
Unranked is
take. I
stressful.
wonder if we're gonna get rid of our Smurfs. I don't know.
I don't smurf. I don't smurf anymore.
Me either.
I like
Smurf.
I pseudo Smurf. I pseudo Smurf. My like direct connect is dots out, but my display is just not.
No, I play Tove. I'm Green Fox. You'll know if you're playing
somebody
me.
looks up the Slippy file. they'll
And
know.
the funnest thing
They
is
know
when
it.
I beat good player Smurfs, and I feel like I have like it's like what do you even have at that point? You know exactly who you lost.
You don't
to,
even have
you know?
your Smurf.
Aren't you going to be curious?
You can't hide.
You're
Huh.
going to be curious, like how well your Ganondorf is going to make it on ranked. You don't want to put it on your real account,
Ooh.
but you're just like,
Yeah,
man,
that's
I've
fair.
been,
That's fair.
you
If
know?
you're playing like a pretty, meh character, you can make a Smurf for that. No, that's for sure.
right.
I wanted to do this question. I saw a question a little bit lower, $36.30 from Soba. Is anyone on the panel even had anything nice to say about Blur Raffle? I want to go around and say
There's
some.
some nice
I
messages.
want to go around. I think each of us say one nice thing about Blur.
This is a great question.
Robin, you start.
Here right now.
Robin, you start.
I like that Blur is literally Blur takes shit the best out of literally any human being on this earth, and
True.
I genuinely mean that.
I mean, if he didn't, he would just be ground into fine powder.
And I think
Evaporate.
the common denominator in the room is on Blur. He will take it happily. We can all become closer. Thank you, Arian.
Mhm.
And I think there's very few people that just honestly, truly believe in Melee as much as Blur does. And I
That's
know,
better,
like,
yes.
whatever faults he has, whatever many faults he has,
They can't get through a sentence, you know? They can't get through a
We got through
sentence.
one
They can't get through a sentence, dude.
People.
I know that I can just interpret them through the lens of this man believes in Melee, and I can never just stay mad at him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
True.
How about you, Tove? You must have something on your mind.
I was gonna say, I feel like, dude, I like Blur's. I'm gonna say it, Blur. I don't think you've ever heard this perspective from me. I don't think you're even gonna believe me when I say this. I kind of like your Marth.
Oh,
It's so true, though.
I kind of like your Marth. Listen,
Oh.
listen, Blur. There's a lot of cookie cutter Marths out there. Okay,
Mhm,
there's a
mhm.
lot of cookie cutter Marths out there.
Mhm.
Yours is not. Yours is not. When I play you, when I watch you, I feel like you are actually very unique. You're going for some cool options. You got some big ideas. And I think if you put your nose to the grindstone, I think you went many years. Here's the problem, though. I think for a long time, I think you didn't put your nose to the grindstone. But I think if you really get this new controller and you really buckle down and you
controller's gonna
take those
change
ideas, I think there's a world where you're a threat again. I really do think there is. I like your Marth. I don't think it's cookie cutter at all. So,
So-
I'm gonna say
so
it. I
here's-
like your Marth.
So, you know why it's easy for me to not care what Robin says? Because one of the best moments for me ever was when I kept on going to Ken's house, and not many people have believed in my personal skill in Melee, but Ken did, which was like the guy I grew up like idolizing. He was like, "Blur, you're so good. You should be better than everybody. Why is Mango beating you? Like, you just should be the best."
Why is
And-
You know, Ken, this
Ever
is
since that,
Why is
I
Drew
have-
beating you?
I
this
know,
very
right?
Why is
moment.
Drew
Here's
beating
what I
you?
just learned. Pen is easy. All you have to do is don the red Marth, and he will be on your side. Because
Ever
there's
since
no way he
that-
could have meant the words that he just said.
He meant every word. He meant every
Why is
word.
Blur? Say that again. Why is who beating you? He said.
You know, Mango, and so on. Who I have taken a game off Mango in tournaments, so just putting that out there. You know, like it's a
Off his
rivalry.
Donkey Kong? What
It's a
game was
rival.
he using?
He was
my
using
God.
Marth, but you know, it's a rivalry.
Okay.
You know,
If he said that,
back
it's,
and
you know.
forth. You know, 2-1 in games all time.
Anyone else feel like Ken just kind of invented Blur as a thing? I just saw.
Mm.
Ken
Is
is
it
like
all-
an alchemist,
is it
and
all
Blur
Ken?
is this
It's all coming
homunculus
together.
that Ken
Exactly,
like
like-
conjured.
Is it all coming together?
This is actually just a Ken creation.
Oh
Okay,
my
so,
god!
okay, I have something guys I can say about Blur. Can I recycle though?
Go ahead.
Sure.
Can I recycle? Okay, so this is actually something that I said to Blur 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago. I just looked it up in our Facebook messages, Blur, and I was reading it over as y'all were talking. I think a lot of this is true, still true to this day. That you are one of the people who, especially back then and still through this day, that inspire me as an organizer and an influencer. I really appreciate you for that. I didn't really know you much before 2017. But seeing your work at that time and in the previous years and getting to know you more after I moved to San Francisco, after I joined Smash UG and got out there, got to hang around you, got to chat with you and really like see you as a person, show me there's a lot more to the Blur than just going up and kissing the ring. And
Yes,
like
that's part of it. That is part of it.
it's part of it. No,
That's
that's
part
part
of
of it. That's
It's part of it.
you gotta kiss the ring. But but no, I mean, I seriously, and this goes for everybody in this call, though. I am incredibly thankful to have been friends with you and to be able to learn from all of you, and be inspired by every one of you. Because honestly, like half the shit I do, I am inspired by each and every one of you. Somebody recently asked me about, and this one's going out to Sheridan and Robin. Somebody had reached out to me about Apex 2015, because we were doing this grand finals through time thing this week, which is a super fun segment. But Apex 2015, I think, was one of the sets, or some Apex, and they were talking about like how there was like this whole TO situation room at Apex 2015. And I remember just in that room, just being like, I don't know why I'm here, and I'm just watching Sheridan and Robin figure out for the first time how we take 1,000-person bracket and fit it into 2 days with like an hour timeline to figure that shit out. for the first time. We'd never done a bracket that big in that small period of time. Nowadays, it's like, well, yeah, we know how to do it. But like you guys are really figuring out. Blur, you were all over the place talking, I think, with Twitch and Red Bull, really helping out and everything. You know, and yeah, I just want to give you all shout outs because it's like, seriously, none of the shit I do would exist without you guys.
Well
Back at you,
put.
Matt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for
Matt,
picking up the torch, dude.
yeah, and
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
from all my time working with you at Smash GG and all the other projects we work on, absolutely one of my favorite people to work with. Just very genuine human, says what he means, always has just great ideas, open to criticism, just really pleasant and enjoyable and fun and funny person to be around. And I'm just so proud that of you coming up with this idea and getting everybody together to make this thing happen. It's just brilliant.
On very short notice, I might add.
Yeah.
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 Absolutely.
I'm like
Shorter
really
than-
impressed when I look in the Discord. There's a lot of people in there and
Dude,
a
this
lot
is
of channels
actually
and a lot of
so
food
impressive.
posts. It is
This
very
is
impressive.
So impressive. It's like, it's actually, I think, one of the most impressive things, like just as between the timeline and like seriously ever, actually. The timeline, the number of people and the amount of people who helped kind of blows me away. You know, like the number of
Yep.
things that take a lot of effort. Like I've tried to run Melee themed game shows, and usually you need a lot of time to like write questions and like all the make overlays, all this sort of stuff. And this was actually like 150 hours of content, like, and the amount of that's been given to charity so far, and the fact that it all happened because Big House got CND'd and Matt just got mad. Like that's all it took. You know, that's like literally all it took. And then there was enough other people who were also mad. They're like, oh yeah, yeah, we're all
Let's
about
channel
it. You
this
know?
mad energy somewhere.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It
and,
definitely feels like it was a moment, right? Like I don't know if everybody would have had the same energy and the same like drive for like a singular goal of like we need to do some cool shit and like do something really like awesome that we haven't done before, and just execute on that in literally literally 14 days. Like it was we created this Discord 2 weeks to the day, Monday December 30th. The Discord was made. Like Sunday the 29th, I was just chatting with Juna and Walt about
November
30th.
talking about November 29th. That's when I was just chatting with them. Then Monday the 30th is when we started reaching out to the to people and like getting them in the Discord and really moving along with the project. And I think we like as we were doing it and as we're seeing people get in on Monday and Tuesday in particular, and as we're talking through stuff, we're like, okay, are we actually going to do this? Like, are we going to hard commit to doing this? Because we've done like some scheduling revisions and things like that at this point too. Now, work was happening, so people, we had to make the call, and it's like, well, if we work on this, like it's going to happen. It's going to happen, and we did, and there we are at the end of that week.
So for the people in chat, there's I think 225 people in this Discord, and genuinely, I'm scrolling through. You can correct me if I'm wrong. We didn't add people didn't get added that were like not doing anything or didn't have a role. Like it was pretty much 225 people that all did something.
Yeah, there's not a lot of
Yeah, I think so.
And that's so insane. Like,
and like seeing all the conversations, nobody's like, am I gonna get paid for this? I don't really want to do this. Can I do this thing instead that I really want to do? It's just everybody knows what they need to do, and they just go ahead and do it because they know like it's just out of pure desire to make this fantastic thing happen.
Yo,
And,
shout out specifically. That just reminded me. Shout out to Zoo, who I believe was talent, commentator, video editor, and commentator. Did I say that already? He was like 5 different roles.
Game show contestant.
Player
Game show
played
contestant.
Newt.
Yes.
Made a 3-0 comeback against Newt. Oh,
Yes.
that's a spoiler for anybody who want to watch that set.
Yeah.
Did everything. Yeah.
I didn't watch it today.
It's a good set. It's a great set.
There's a
Actually,
bunch more questions that popped up, by the way.
But yeah, this is definitely this whole project I think has been a lesson in like trust. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
And Bobby always says that's the currency that our community is based on.
Ooh.
Something like that, Bobby. Right?
I believe it. I mean, especially after this, I believe it. I mean, so much of this stuff. I mean, there was people working on this project that I didn't like ever need to like talk to, specifically because like everybody was running with their own ball. You know what I mean? But all towards the exact same goal, and you would just trust your teammates are going to get there too. That's
but it's so good for our mental. Like if there's a collective like mental game for the community, I feel like when things that happen when bad things happen to you, there's a lot of ways you can respond to it, right? And one of the ways we could respond to it would be like, oh man, like our game's gonna die, they're after us, like we're never gonna grow, blah blah blah, get doom and doomer about it. But then to like actually have this outlet for us, like, and to be like, no, you got us fucked up, and just really take it out and actually put it towards something productive. I think like literally all 225 of those people needed this for their mental to be able to realize why they're in it in the first place, right? Like
it really felt like the Smash community. Like to me, it literally felt like, you know, we're putting together like a major tournament, and then now we're all together experiencing a major tournament. Except it wasn't quite a tournament; it was a lot more. But that's the way it felt to me. Is, you know, we're putting our energy into something that is, you know, just something other people are going to enjoy, something we can put out into the world that people are going to appreciate and enjoy being a part of. That feels really good. It's definitely for me, it's definitely the best, like, since quarantine started, like in terms of like how I've personally felt and my own energy and my own, like, I don't know, just my own like mental passion or direction or whatever. Like these last 2 weeks, like, or I guess technically 3 weeks, because this last week has just been execution. But it's really just all been like, I don't know. The flame is bright. That's how I can say it. Like, I don't know how else to put it. But the flame's burning bright. It feels good. It feels really good.
What do you think the Melee community offers that other communities do not? From Mark C.
Okay, one thing that I think is very tangible, this is kind of taking it back down to a more concrete level, is I actually really appreciate that with Melee. It feels like if you invest in Melee, like if you're like a new player and you're like, I want to play this game, it seems sick, like Melee is a game I feel like it'll be around. To me, that's very valuable. Like, you know, I was getting into Granblue Versus earlier this year, and I feel like already, you know, it's you know, it's a game where it had a really pop in tournament scene for a while, but it's like, you know, with a lot of kind of newer fighting games, it feels like the community might move on to the, you know, a newer thing soon. Oh, hello. I'm on the big screen now. Yeah, I don't know. And I feel like with Melee, it's like it's dope because like I feel like you learn a game like Melee, it will be around for you. I feel like this game. This is, by the way, we have a lot of other questions on here. Donate questions. Shout outs to you know, Dustin Archer, Der Elben Koenig, with the $20. People asking how long does Melee keep going? I mean, I think this all ties together. I think Melee will be around for a very, very, very long time. Yeah. You see that with how many evolutions are going into the infrastructure, the you know, the meta still evolving, you know, if you'll pardon my meme here.
I mean, we don't even have sabermetrics for Melee yet. We're not even there yet.
Huh?
We don't even have sabermetrics for Melee yet.
We don't even have sabermetrics for Melee yet. You know, he's still
babies.
Maybe PG stats, baby.
PM players understood the joke I just made. There's a PM player named Saber whose Twitter is Sabermetrics.
Also, shout out
to that guy. Yeah, but yeah, I think with Melee, it's you have this reassurance that the game is going to be around and growing for a very, very long time, and I think that's wonderful.
Dude, with Slippy,
for me, it's
this is the first time I've actually legitimately thought to myself, Melee might be around forever. Because like previously we were limited by logistics and equipment, just the accessibility barriers there, but now, not really.
You know, I had this crazy thought, Rob, while I have you guys, because this harkens back to a podcast we did in 2015 at Apex 2015, the night before the roof caved in. And Rob was very excited for a moment about
I know where this is going.
The trolling that Bobby Scar unleashed when he said Melee HD. And I was I feel like we actually are now living the timeline where I'm kind of happy Melee HD wasn't. I feel like Melee HD has delay-based netcode. And I feel like what we have now is literally better. I'm like, we have something better than Melee HD now.
When you add those overlays in, we definitely do. It's filthy.
So. If you showed a screenshot of a modern Melee stream to someone to Robin at that Apex, he would think he was looking at Melee HD. Like he would think,
right?
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah.
I would have screamed, "Oh my god!" just the same.
You would. We actually got it. We have it. It's just Fizzy made it instead of Nintendo, you know?
I feel a lot happier now, Toph. Thank you for saying that.
There you go.
We have a game that's been around hell long. I mean, I got into Street Fighter 4. It's gone. My Makoto is dead. I can't do anything anymore.
Rocky 10 0'd it on the reads.
Really?
Was it 10-0 really?
I think it's
Holy
10-0.
shit! Get fucked.
Dude, I just forgot how to play.
No, but
against
he was
Cody. I forgot how to
good.
play
He
against
was
Cody,
like
dude.
he was the number
No,
one
I
Cody
just
on the
forgot.
ladder.
He sucks, dude.
No, I know.
I'm just kidding, I'm
I
just
believe
kidding.
you. I don't know.
He messed me up. Yeah, he messed me up. He was number one ranked, but you know what? On that ladder, it's like you get like character points for just playing.
For just playing.
He
It's
wasn't
like
ranked
another-
number one, but he had the most points, which means that he's played a lot of games.
Okay.
I actually forgot where I was going with that.
Shit, my bad. That's my fault.
But we're
I
badass.
apologize.
We're badass. That's what it offers.
Hey, Scar, when are you gonna?
Oh, we're
re-upload?
in person community, dude. In person community. I feel like so many cultures they were formed through an online community, and there's just like a totally different energy when like you don't need to meet the people that you play against, the other top players. You can like hate each other and shit in other games, but I feel like we as a community we have this like cool competitive collaborative thing going on where we all want to push the meta together kind of. It's not like we're out at each other's throats. I feel like some other games
Sure.
are less helpful communities. And I don't know, man. I know that it sucks to get into a game and be new and suck, but like people want to help. People want to see the scene grow and like yeah, I hope that becomes like possible again. Like you can find practice partners easily. I think that might be the best thing for new players. We had like a little buddy system.
Yeah. It's in Discord now, but you know,
I mean, it's true that like so like you play like a game like League of Legends, right? Like no one cares if you quit. Like if whoever you're queued against or playing against, they don't care if you keep playing this game or whatever. In Melee, we treat like anyone who's coming in like this golden child, right? Like it's like we have to protect them at all costs, and we actually care if you stay.
Blur. I have a little throwback for you specifically on this one. Do you remember a Team Moxie member named Geez, I'm So Bored?
Oh, one of my favorites. Yes.
When I lived in Seattle, so there was, you know, at the University of Washington, you know, this kid, he was posting on like our local little Facebook group, you know, UW Melee or whatever. And I was like, dude, I got some free time this week, but you can come over to my dorm. I will play you 1v1. And you know, he was very new, very young, Red Falco. And my boy, what's his name? Jeffrey Chen, right?
Yeah, Jeffrey Chen, that's right.
And I brought him over and I was like, you know what? You're not very good, but you're not very bad. And I'm going to help you out. I'm going to teach you some stuff. And we had a long 1v1 session. I gave him a lot of tips. I used to be a Red Falcon main myself. And then, you know, a couple years passed and I found out he moved to SoCal. He got a job, graduated from the UW, all this stuff. He was still in the Melee scene and he joined Team Moxie.
That's
and
right.
I was like, wow, my fledgling, Jeffrey Chen doing big things. He's got a bigger and brighter mentor now in the Crimson Blur, but you know what? That's a step up as far as I'm concerned. But I told him, come over to my dorm tonight. I'll show you the ropes. I'll show you how to play. Teach you how to L cancel and shit. That was my fucking mentee, dude.
That's badass.
From day one. And he stuck around. And I remember thinking in those days, because this was the dark ages, I was like, anyone who comes on my Facebook group and says, I want to get into Melee, that I will put all my resources in making sure they stay invested in the community. And he did.
Because we want to see more of ourselves in the community. If you saw a little bit of yourself in Geez, I'm So Bored, and like they were bold enough to come up to you and be like, can you be my mentor? And like we all want to help at the end of the day, like as human beings. I do believe that. And that's a beautiful thing.
But Robin, we don't get a lot of opportunities to help, and I think that's one of the big things. You know, I go back and forth. It's like to try to explain to people why I care so much about this community and what it means. I think Wife said it best in the first documentary. It was our chance to be somebody, you know, as in it's our ability to make a difference in the world is really limited often in the way that this entire structure of society is built up, right? We have jobs, things happen, but it doesn't feel like we're actually making a difference so often, right? So often. But I find through
it's a big world out there, Blur.
Oh, it is. I find through Melee and through Smash, we're actually able to touch people and we're actually able to make a difference in people's lives that, you know, is a long lasting and means a lot to them. And wait, God damn it, Scar, stop laughing.
I'm not. You backtracked off of it, dude.
I know. I realized it at the time. Okay, I was trying to do my thing. Okay. Point is, Melee's sick. Whatever. Fuck you guys.
All right.
Sorry.
I have a question for you guys. I'm actually super curious about this. I'm actually super curious about this. So,
Oh, damn it.
I love
all
you.
right, no,
Gordon.
no. So this
I
last
love
week,
you so much.
this last
Gordon. You
week
made me laugh.
we've had a ton of different content segments. It's been 108 hours of Melee, of different Melee content and segments. I'm curious to kind of just go around the room and get you guys' like favorite parts to it. For me, the sleeper hit for me was Grand Finals Through Time.
Yes.
I did not expect that to
Absolutely.
be as fun as it was. Where it's just, like 500, 800 people just hanging out in chat, and we're watching sets on Monday night that start in like 2004. Grainy, no overlay. We're running polls like who has seen this before, and like 60-70% of people are like, I haven't seen these sets before. And then we're going through, and then we end on Thursday with Mango versus Zane 3.5 weeks ago. So we just made our way through the years watching Melee for 3 hours every night between midnight and 3. And it was fun because you got to see like the same people came back each time. And we kind of, made some little friendships in there. So that was actually the sleeper hit for me. But I think the game shows for sure are among my favorite parts as well.
Yeah, the grand finals through time was a very cool concept. I wish I could have seen them, but they were like from 5 to 8 a.m. my time or something like that, so I didn't actually. I will agree with you. Game shows, and like I was very surprised too. All the non-gameplay content, I ate up. I did not expect to be on that Twitch channel, BTS Smash for that many hours this week. But like game shows specifically, and just because I helped with a few things here and there just to make those things like get in on time with the edits, and I found out there's a lot of stuff involved with the creation of just like one little Jeopardy board that is several hours of somebody writing and editing and like doing all this stuff. So yeah, shout outs to everybody behind the scenes.
I have an answer that is different. Well, I already provided one answer. I'm going to provide another. So I already shouted out how awesome I think all of the game show segments were. That kind of goes without saying. I think the game show segments were just like they were a blast. I think everyone who watched those was like, yeah, these are amazing. I wanted to also say that the PM content in particular Monday was fucking wonderful. I had a really cool kind of experience on Monday. I had Switch on my stream, top Wolf player for like 2 hours before the PM show matches, and we were playing, and he was walking me through. We were talking about PM through the ages because I was playing a little bit in 2014, back when it was 3.02. I remember, we were sharing some funny stories. I remember I went to a tournament, super sweet. Me and Bobby were at that tournament, and Armada ran into Armada and was like, Armada was like, Toph, I realized something. I realized Project M does not stand for Project Melee. I realize it stands for Project Mewtwo. And I had all these, and we were sharing, and I was, and then Switch we were talking about all the different buffs and nerfs that were happening. It was really fun. I had a bunch of PM people in the chat, and we were talking about, and I realized this as I was going, and then I commentated the show matches which were Fuego, in particular, Magi versus Magi's Link versus Fuzz's Mewtwo was like a banger. Last hit, game 5 set. That was such a great set to end on. And I realized, with PM in particular, that community, you guys have that really raw, I don't give a fuck grassroots energy that, like, I haven't seen that, in a lot. It really reminds me of the old Melee days. I mean, the really old Melee days. Like, the PM guys are grassroots AF. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't give a fuck. And I love that. It's very, very cool to see that. I was watching some of the various little content segments later. They had some PM content segments later showing game mechanics and stuff, and I was like, this is really cool. I definitely want to play more of that game next year for sure. So yeah, everything PM was awesome. I'm so glad we got to do all that stuff.
Bobby, what was yours?
I'm caught between two. One is we hit 50K. Woo!
That was
and then the other was, so I was, obviously I was the host of Millionaire, and I was super into it because I grew up watching Millionaire. I did the Blur episode, was great. And then I remember I was listening to one of my favorite Millionaires with Norm, like in the car while I was picking up my kid. just trying to get into like the Regis kind of feel.
Nice.
And I remembered that every once in a while, somebody would struggle with a question and they would get it right, but he would, before you knew whether they got it right or wrong, he would go like, "Oh no, they got it." There's a perfect moment when Tapo was doing a question, and I just came to me in that moment, and I did it, and I felt like I nailed it. I haven't seen it in post, but I hope that people like the "oh no." That's right. I forget if it was Tapo or Hugo, but
It was
whoever
Tapo.
it was,
It was Tapo.
he was
I
freaking
remember
out when I
because
said, "Oh
I
no."
was watching the VOD and I got Melee HD vibes from that moment.
It's
You
the
did?
stupid psych out. You gotta have at
Oh.
least one psych out like that.
This
He was just
guy.
playing-
You have to.
Yeah, Regis will always do it. He'll do it every once in a while when you're least expecting it.
Oh, I love Regis Philbin.
So I was just super happy I could capture that, make it really authentic.
It was really good.
It was really good.
What about you, Share dude?
Excuse me. Wow. Yes,
That happens
grand finals
sometimes.
through time. I've been just working so much this week with my regular job and then just putting this together and just unwinding with grand finals through time with the same people coming back every day was just a blast. And I have been around for quite a long time, so I remember a lot of these, and it's fun just to give people who are new to these sets like some extra context, some trivia, talk about like where Melee was mentally in terms of
Aw.
like top 8 at the time. It's a kitty. What is the cat's name?
All right.
Tell us about the cat.
Audrey.
Oh,
Audrey.
that's cute. So what do we do? What do we do now? We have this Discord. Robin, you and I, we just were like kind of just going on this for like a half hour earlier today, just talking about like we have all of these incredibly talented, driven people that are all in one group now, have had this, what I think is going to be like some very like sort of communal experience that people look back on. Having just done something so insane in such a short period of time. And I think that has like created bonds, I feel, for myself to a lot of people. And from what I've been seeing, and hearing from other folks, they have now created bonds with people that they previously didn't have any knowledge of or any contact with. So what do we do now? How do we utilize this, right? Like I've seen content creators in the Discord saying like, look, if we don't make like cross creator content, I don't know like what the term is, just like content trades or something, like have somebody do a read on like something that Walt does or something like that, right? Like they're messing up. That's what I'm seeing content creators saying that, right? So how do we like continually use this? Because right now we have this, for the first time, this massive resource of people who can execute on all sorts of different shit clearly with what we've seen this week. So like, how do we continue to use that? How do we continue to make that effective? Right?
Yeah,
The easiest thing is to just do it again.
All right, Scar.
Did
Do
it
something like
once,
this
do it
in a
again.
couple of months, right? And kind of like,
Yeah.
give yourself enough time to plan. Just because that way, you have something that you're working towards, Because I think the biggest risk is that like you kind of do nothing.
Yeah, it's just like the energy just peters out. People are
Somehow
like,
I trust
was
Matt.Zeb, Sheridan, Joe Guy, and yes, the Crimson Blur to not do nothing.
I feel
Somehow
a lot
I have that
closer
trust.
to the content creators and the leadership of the Melee right now. I will say that because I think Discord, this is maybe just a side effect of Discord, but there was a lot of different things. Like there was a Melee stats server, there was the PG stats server, there's the Melee online server. I think those are like kind of the big three. But this one has like 200 of the most current, like very like top of the community people who are in leadership positions, and I am very glad that we have this right now. I don't know what to do with it, but it's going to be really useful feature.
Rob brings up a good point. Like a lot of times about what's forgotten about 2013 is that we kind of crawled out of our Smashboards hole. With all due respect to Smashboards, we kind of, it's not a humongous website, it doesn't have the biggest traffic. And we started going on Twitter, Facebook, and all these other avenues. And that's how a lot of people start to learn about Smash Brothers, right? And I actually feel like we've been hampered in a different way with Facebook
Mhm.
Messenger. If anyone who's ever tried to do anything with the community knows that
Mhm.
everything was organized
Ah.
with Facebook Messenger for so long, and it feels like it's just in the last like 8 months that Discord has become the
Yep.
only way to
Great.
talk to people, as in
Yep.
do not Facebook Messenger people anymore, which is
Yeah.
great news. And I
Yes.
actually think
Agreed.
that it might help us finish the job that was started in Apex 2015 when we finally like started to work with each other to a greater degree. Now it's like, but we never, it never felt like we actually got all the way over the hump, right? Like where we were super coordinated and everyone was lockstep. And I wonder if Discord just being a technology that's easier and much more and much easier to like coordinate large scale projects is going to help us do more stuff like this or whatever we want more often.
I think so.
Mhm.
Yeah, fuck Facebook Messenger. They rolled out a
Oh my
change 2
God.
days ago or a day ago. I think they rolled out a change. It's the final nail in the
They
coffin
did.
for me.
Yeah,
They
I mean,
rolled
I,
out a change where
That-
if you open up a tab and you start a conversation with somebody, it used to be you could click anywhere in the conversation on the whole window and you could start typing and it would type. You now have to click on the very tiny little bar. I think that's it. It's done.
It's over.
Probably
Sure.
the worst change you could roll out. I think
Sure,
UI
I
UX
know
wise,
where
Messenger
you're
is dead.
I already
Yeah.
know where we're going with Sheridan.
I mean, I wasn't there for that long at Smash GG during this era, but I know the absolute horrors of the Facebook Messenger just list of conversations at Smash GG.
Mhm.
It was
Ah.
I mean, Matt, if you want to speak on that I'll
Okay.
let you.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, and I hope you never experienced this yourselves, when I joined Smash GG and a bunch of other people joined Smash GG in mid 2016, early 2016, there wasn't an in-site support like section or anything like that. You couldn't reach out to like admins like you can now if you're running a tournament. Like you can directly message someone through the website. And the site was still in like beta, so it was still, you had to like ask kind of like to use it. It wasn't really open as it is at the time. So somebody had to be approving your tournament every time that you submitted a tournament.
And often it was Zoo.
What's that?
And often it was Zoo.
Yeah, Zoo was actually, yes, correct. Zoo was doing tournament approvals. But we kind of all got in there. We definitely had some for Zoo. But the way that we conducted support with these people, because again, it's a new site, it's still in beta. We want to make sure that whoever's using it knows how to use it or like can get help, because it's a very complex site. We made support chats. So when you made a tournament, you had to submit your Facebook link. And we would then create a Facebook group chat with like 7 people from the support team in every chat with like 1 or 2 people, 1 or 2 TOs. And that happened for like, I think it was like somewhere maybe in like early or mid 2017 that we finally got freed of it. I was in Denver when it happened actually. So it wasn't 2017. So it actually
it was like April 2018.
Yeah, actually that might be what I'm thinking. Yeah, it was like early 2018, you're right. And yeah, that was a fun time, but we all got to leave our Facebook message chats because I think Mitch DZ, I'm blanking on his actual complete tag. I'm terrible, but he made this script to get us all out of these chats. Like look for chat titles that are like X Smash GG because it'd be like tournament name X Smash GG, and like the new people we hired like in 2017 were like, you should make a fake Facebook. But for all the other ones that were just like thrown into it, we were using our personals. So by the time that we got that script to leave the Facebook account chats, we had these big group hangout call where everybody's got like champagne and we run this script. I think I left something like 3,700 Facebook chats during that call. And I wasn't the leader. I wasn't in the most.
Yeah.
I think
my.
Aiden might have been in the most actually. I think someone hit 4K. So like, you think about that, it's like your Facebook chat, it's just like 4K.
So it sounds stupid. Like if you're not in the sauce of like what's the behind the scenes stuff, like the fact that we had to do that, and we weren't stupid. We realized that Facebook Messenger sucked. It's just it was really hard to get and actually get people to respond because it was like the standard in our community. So we just sort of felt like we had to do it. So I don't know. I actually think it's going to make a difference. I legitimately do. A lot of times, just being on a different platform has helped us. Like just purely like, hey, when we first went on Twitch, hey, when we first started using Smash GG, all these sort of things, they were never met with the type of fanfare that, honestly, in retrospect, like, you know, how much of a difference they ended up making, right?
Oh my
So.
god, dude, I get OCD when I have more than like 10 tabs open on a browser, and you're talking about like 1,000.
Oh my god, I have like 50 right now.
You want to take a guess? I got 160 right
Yeah,
now.
those are rookie numbers.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I
Those
can't
are
hear those numbers.
numbers.
That's crazy.
Oh no,
I can't
there's
deal with
a
that.
there's a random question that I feel like we should get, just because they donated $50, very generous, from Bad News Beta. Scar, when are you gonna re-upload I Killed Mufasa 2 with the original music?
I saw that question.
So could I just do it? Can I just re-upload it? Toph, you have it, right?
I have it. I was looking through my Dropbox for something else the other day, and I saw, what is this IKM2 final.mpv?
But won't YouTube just take it down again? Like,
So we can't put it on YouTube. We got to put it somewhere else.
Yo, Google Videos, baby.
Oh,
Back to
Google
2008.
Videos was so sick in 2004.
That's true. That's where you can
yeah.
see the combo videos, dude. That's where they get uploaded to.
Oh,
You can only
man.
get it on the DC++ hub.
Oh my goodness.
so I can't put it on YouTube? Why? Because
Yeah,
they'll
we do,
demonetize it
yeah.
or whatever.
Maybe you can, dude, maybe you can, how long can you upload Twitter videos for?
It's
2
140
minutes.
seconds, isn't it?
2 minutes.
How
20.
many?
220.
220.
Not even
Vimeo? Maybe
close.
Vimeo? Dailymotion?
Ooh,
I think there was a link on Dailymotion. I don't know where it went.
yeah.
All right, I'll upload it to Dailymotion next week, and if it gets taken down, I'm just gonna make like a burner Dailymotion account. I'll just upload it. I have it. It might not be the
You
best
gotta be
quality.
careful
Though.
about your primary daily
Just
motion
make sure
account.
Bad News Beta knows.
Yeah, that is video. Look on Dailymotion next week. Yeah, some donor reads, and at some point, I'm gonna start talking about LACS 3. I was saying,
I need to fall asleep pretty soon because I got.
Bobby,
I have
yeah,
a, I have a
I want you to know,
4-year-old.
Bobby, you're free to go literally whenever you want. You can go right
Yeah,
now.
I want to do a sign off. I want to thank each and
Okay,
every
you do
one of
one
you
donor
who
read. You
tuned
do one
in.
donor read.
Yeah, where are they?
I don't know. It's,
Go
this
to
one
the-
says,
Donation relay.
Yeah. Go into the server, press Control K, and type in DON.
Control
and you'll-
K, baby. Control
There
K.
you go.
Control K, it's so sick.
Mhm.
Type in
I've
what?
learned so much about Discord this last
It's called like donation-relay.
Yeah. Donation relay filtered is like the big ones.
And I could just read any of these.
If it doesn't have a thumbs up,
Oh, damn. We got a lot without a thumbs
yeah, we got a
up.
lot in the
Oh
last.
my god. Oh yeah. Jesus.
So hard timing these meme donation totals. Raffle from Soba.
That
Was
is,
that good?
it is difficult.
Fuck yeah.
It's difficult.
That's
You
actually
did great,
fantastic.
Did I
Love
do
your,
it? Did I
love
do
your
it?
energy, Bobby.
You did.
$5 from Cine Tricks for the game I love and to all of those homies in need. Free Melee.
That's sick.
And yeah, thanks to everyone watching. Thanks to everybody who, the 5 of you. Blur, I love you, dude.
Oh, I love you too.
Yeah, I love Blur
Watch it now.
too. The community would be it'd be lame without Blur.
Matt,
need a
super
Blur.
thankful for all
You
your
gotta have a
effort.
blur.
You gotta have a Blur.
Go-
Every community.
You already know what it is. Rob, I'm
I actually gonna retcon.
Rob's the guy who never
Right.
stopped believing in me. I'm gonna tell you that right now. But I need to believe in myself as
Dude,
much as Rob
when
believes.
that donut eating contest happens in 2077, you're gonna
I'm
be the
showing up.
first
I'm-
one
I'm ready to
call.
go.
I'm gonna call you first to commentate it.
But please
Tight.
get me some donuts. Toph and I would like some donuts as we
I would
advocate.
like some donuts as well, yeah, and maybe some Pan Express.
That's right. And Sheridan, I love you, dude. I'm so happy that we
I
got
love
to
you,
do
Bobby.
a Melee It On Me. It's been so many years that we've known each other and that we've worked together for the game that we love, keeping the flame alive. Happy to see that it's 2020, and I would not have guessed that this would be the state of the world. If you asked me to think what's Melee like in 2020, I was always optimistic. There's never a day where I was like, damn, it's gonna be really bad. But I didn't think we'd look like this in 2020. I
We
think
look
we're
good
doing
in
pretty
2020.
well. I think we look
good
pretty
in
good.
2020.
Doing good.
I think we look
Yeah.
pretty good,
Pretty
dude.
good.
You know what's
So
weird
we're
is I
crushing it.
remember after Kings of Cali 2, after Mango won, this was 2014, right? Before EVO 2014. In the post-finals interview with Mango said something like, all right, Melee's got 5 years. If Melee survives for 5 years, Melee is forever.
Mango's been saying 5 years for like 10 years.
He
Is
still
that
says
like
5 years.
the old saying, like if you
Megan's
have a
like
good
still saying
friend,
5 years.
if you have a good friend for 7 years, they'll be a friend for your
It's
life.
friend forever, dude.
Hmm.
That's man.
Oh, is that
Man's
a
my
thing?
friend forever.
All right.
I'm starting to believe
Oh,
Melee is going to last
shit.
forever with the latest developments that we've had this year.
Yeah, I
The
think so.
game that
too.
never died, dude. The game that never died.
No, the fact that game's getting like digitized the way it is and everything. I mean,
Yeah.
I
I
can't.
think-
You can't.
I
You can't
think-
take that away at this point.
I
All
think
right,
you lost
Bobby.
me right now. Yeah.
Bobby,
Bobby.
Well, I
thank
love you too.
Bobby,
Peace
thank
out.
you so
you
much.
for all of your time the past week, 2 weeks. This is-
Thank you for texting me, dude. Rob texted me twice today. He reminded me that the show was happening tonight.
Oh
It was
my
like
fuck, yeah.
9:20, and I like looked at my phone. I was like, "Fuck!" I totally forgot.
Yeah.
But we made it happen. We made it happen. All is well that ends well.
All right, we're gonna take a break and let Bobby go, get some sleep, and then I think we'll bring on Brooke after this.
Yo.
All right, well, What is up with it? Welcome back to the Melee and On Me post 5 days of Melee post show, post mortem, post everything, post rock. And yeah, we got some, Bobby Scar had to go to bed. He's got a lot of things going on with him with, obviously Donato, a 4-year-old who's very cute. I found out tonight that Donato's a Fox player. I'm very happy about that. I might have to.
With a Falcon secondary.
With the Falcon secondary, which I think is very respectable.
He's on the right foot.
Absolutely. 2 great characters. Don't get me wrong. And yeah, we're bringing in some, Bobby Scar's going to bed. We're bringing in some other great friends of ours. We got Tafikins as well as Brooke, aka Campy DK. Hey. Yeah, a couple more things we're gonna do. We got more dono questions, and Brooke is gonna talk to us about just kind of how this has been with Direct Relief, and I think Matt's got some questions to ask him. We're gonna interview him real quick. And then we're going to do a little preview of LACS 3 because the great thing about Melee is it keeps on giving. So how do we do this first? Should we read some donos first? Because we still have more questions.
Let's do these donos.
Can I do something before any of that?
What do you got, Blue? You got a package?
Please do.
Literally during the break, I kid you not, this just got delivered to me.
Oh,
my controller just came in.
So we can first to 5.
It's a Christmas miracle.
We can mark it a first to 5.
Dude, if you need one, Blur, if you ever need a controller, you let me know, dude. I got a couple back there.
Congrats on receiving the item with which you will plateau just like you have been 5 years.
This is gonna change everything, Robin.
Blur, when are we first to 5ing? I want to mark it to you.
I have to learn with this controller first. Chill out, all right? And then I can take any of your characters. It doesn't even matter.
I'm gonna say one thing though. I'm gonna retcon one of my earlier answers because Mark C asked, "What does the Melee community offer that others do not for $10?" And we gave our answers, but I'm gonna retcon my answer. I'm gonna take whatever I said back, and I'm gonna say the Melee community's got the blur.
Oh,
the other communities don't got a blur.
They don't do it, dude.
It's not the same without the blur.
It's true.
Like when a group doesn't have someone they can just outright make fun of, then they kind of fall apart. Because you have that pent up.
That's really what keeps
there we go.
Together.
Yes. Well, welcome to
you guys can't bring down this high right now.
You guys want to get us on it.
You guys cannot bring down this high. Let me tell you what. Oh my god.
The last question we had that I see on the sheet is $100 from Koi Clay.
Good one.
Maybe me and Tafo can do this because Tafo's got the stats. I got the Fox Believer magic. $100 from Koi Clay. What rank would Javi be if he traveled was still active today?
That's so tough because there's so many variables to it. But I mean, the potential's there, right? He could have been like top 15 to top 20, like SFAT lucky level. I think the big question that I think concerns Javi and Joey or Javi and Tuga to make it more interesting is, how well would they have done if they gone to America in 2007, right? Because they had videos that come out. Because and then he beat Korean DJ at Apex 2012, who was a pretty solid player. He was like significantly ahead on DI, escaping options. Getting out of things that other Foxes weren't at the time. So like I think Javi would have honestly had a good chance to beat the Spaceys in 2007. So
I mean, he beat PP in Apex 2012 as well.
Yeah.
No, that was you segued into exactly what I was going to say. There were videos of Javi that surfaced from like 2006 where he was doing tech that the American Foxes weren't. And yeah, it's a really interesting question how good he would have been back then. I think if he still traveled and was active today, I think he'd just be a top Fox. Like he's got one of the last times we saw him at a really major event was the Apex 2013 set he had with Leffen, where it was very, very close. And yeah, I think he could totally just be a top player. Like he's always had insane tech skill. I think he's always had a really good tournament mentality. I think it's not easy to travel to another country and perform really well. And he's done that multiple times. So like clearly has a good mentality. I think he's got all the kind of factors you need.
Yeah. I will say one last thing on him. I think that the one thing he would suffer from, and I know that the Mexico scene has improved a lot. I know he played Duck in one of those Apexes and it did not look pretty. He actually resorted to Young Link and he just did not know what to do. So I think like if he had to play against in these niche matchups, I think it was a big house. I think that's where he would struggle, but like the Fox, Falco, Falcon, Marth, and Sheik, like he would be really good at. I think he would just have matchup issues.
So that was a good question. But I do want to talk to Brooke a little bit.
Let's do it.
Thank you for sitting with us here for a moment, Brooke. So yeah, Chet and Brooke, play off of this here, but I couldn't describe it as well as you can. But Brooke is our contact at Direct Relief, working on the gaming charity initiatives over at Direct Relief. We got in contact about something like 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, maybe.
Yeah.
And just kind of got this thing spun up real quick.
Yeah, it was really fast. So first off, I'm going to congratulate you guys for hitting $55,000 right now. Incredible for a 2-week turnaround. I was talking with Alex Cherry Costa about this because he initially hit me up that you wanted to talk, and it was like, hey, I'm just letting you know this is happening really fast. I don't know what's going to happen. And I said, man, I've never done an event like this like in less than 2 months. So the amount of effort and the scene has just been incredible. So like hats off to you guys for like showing the dedication and love and everything like that, especially with everything that's happened to the Smash community this year alone. Just seeing that the amount of just love that you guys have has just been incredible. It's probably been one of my favorite events to watch this year. I've done a couple events on the gaming side. We have our own Coliseum events. I help run I'm a director of Zeldathon, which we have our own events and things. But I've had so much fun with this event, just and learning so much about everyone's experiences with the community. So like hearing the Melee It On Me like podcast start and everyone just talking about like their past experiences and growing up, and it's just been like such a huge remembrance, and learning more about it has been just really great. And the production side's been top notch. Like I can't I've learned so much more like going into more events now that I'm taking from you guys, and this is my job. So like you guys have taught me a lot. So yeah, it's just been an amazing experience to watch. I know everyone at Direct Reef was like super interested in your story. I talked to my boss about it, like kind of explain what the whole situation was, and they were touched. Like they think the Smash community is incredible and love everything you guys are doing.
Oh,
That's cool.
that's so sick. That's so sick. I've seen a lot of people. Go ahead, Matt. You have other questions?
No, I'm just smitten. I just feel good.
I'm smitten too. This has been super sick, dude. I'm floored. I'm also, again, shout outs by the way to the surge of support that came in at the last minute too with the little spirit bomb we got. That was a really cool moment.
I don't think it could be a Melee fundraiser without like a spirit bomb at the end.
I'm glad we got that going. I'm really happy. We got so much contributed to that too. That was super cool. Brooke, when you were watching, like, what sort of like parts of the week do you think other types of donation events, like something similar, to what we've done, would want to take from, or like what do you think that we didn't do that could have been something that we do in the future?
So the one thing I really enjoyed, and it's something that I've never even thought of, is just pre-recorded events with the game shows and making sure they're technically sound, because we stress ourselves out with trying to do game shows like that. So we've done Jeopardy and all those kind of things, and having them pre-recorded is just such a big brain play that I've never thought about. So I actually, like, once I saw it, I was like typing in the Discord like how we need to implement the same things. And I think with other things that you guys were working on, I think just more time. If you guys had more time, with like a month at least to get things situated, it'd be even crisper. I think everything you guys did with the time frame is just amazing. There was no faults that I saw. The Melee Through Time, checking it at night and watching all those grand finals and stuff was sick. Like one of the coolest ideas I've seen. It's for the dead time, because it's brutal when it's like 4 a.m. and nothing really to talk about, but putting on all the grand finals was awesome. I think you guys just did a top-notch job overall. Like there's really, I think it's just next time if you guys decide to do this, give yourselves a little more time to plan, and don't kill yourselves over it. But you guys did a great job.
The cool thing with this project is that there's so many people on it that are like those never-ending perfectionists, that you'll do something and it can come out one way or another to the people that experience what you've put out into the world, but to yourself, you see all those tiny little kinks in the armor of it. You know what I mean? Of like, well, I could have done this, I could have done that, and like, okay, well, this could have been done slightly different, and thought of this sooner or whatever. I think we just have a ton of people involved in this project that think that way, and I'm certain for me, like I'm already thinking of things we can change. I'm certain plenty of other people are already thinking the same thing. It's very cool, like growth oriented type of mindset that we have as far as pretty much everybody that worked on this project.
Yeah, running events like this is much different than running because you guys are all experienced in running Smash tournaments and things like that, multi-thousand people there and keeping to a schedule. But doing something like this is such a new experience, and it's always you get hungry after you do the first one. You kind of just want to keep doing it. My whole like thing why I started doing events, like I started doing Zeldathon and things like that. But one of my most proud events that I do is the Coliseum event series, and we actually ripped it off from Beyond the Summit, like the Smash Summit, where we invite like 15 Mario Maker players and over a 3-day period and try to fundraise and kind of did that and evolved it. So like I've taken a lot from the Smash community to learn about how to do events and implement charity, and I feel like you guys are doing a lot of the same things with taking other things from other communities, and that's what the great thing about the charity community is there's always like things you can take and learn and improve on to make it such a unique experience for the audience.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how we do in the future. I can't convince anything yet.
Oh yeah. No, and even if it's not you guys, this is mainly just directed to people in chat. Like if people want to do this,
it's not as hard as you think.
Yeah, they did it in 2 weeks. But it's pretty easy to get an event going if you have the dedication and the love and everything. You can do anything. So
all you need is friendship.
That's true.
Honestly, the connections that you have with people are like what allows these types of things to happen, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have a ton of dono messages to read.
All right, so we want to run through these and then we'll move into doing the credits, or what?
I think we should kind of take turns reading them. Tafo, do you know where to go on the Discord?
We'll dono speedrun.
I'll start with. I'm looking at donation relay, and we have just so many that we need to get to. I'm thinking of we do the 100 plus ones, just because, and there's a lot of those.
Do the fatties, dude. You know,
do the fatties,
big
yeah.
ones.
I'm looking at Mango's favorite HBox fan. That's $200 from Gary95. I don't know what that means. Does Mango have a favorite HBox fan? I guess he does. But thank you for the $200.
Gary95 or Jerry95?
Gary or Gary95. You know what? I'm a GIF truther, so I'm going to say it's Jerry.
Oh yeah.
Well, Oat said.
Oh my God, I had to read. I think he might have gotten a gifted sub or something, and I said Gary95 when I said it, which was perfect because I say GIF. Something's happening here. Anyway, go on.
Yeah.
You say tomato, I say tomato. I'm Jerry95, baby.
Jerry95.
Tomato is wrong, but that's aside.
Yeah, tomato is wrong. Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. But Oat donated $100 earlier. So be the change you want to see in the world. I want to see more melee. Hey, same here. Like if you make something that you want and that you enjoy, then other people are gonna follow in those footsteps. So absolutely.
What else?
You got $100 from Chance. Game's just that fun. Indeed, it is.
Thanks.
It is.
Chance. I agree, especially when you're playing against the Crimson Blur.
I wasn't even paying attention.
Hans, bringing him back into it. He's like, "Remember my name?" Oh, Hans saying, "Thanks for putting on a great event and providing an entire week of entertainment." You're welcome. Thanks for tuning in. It was a pleasure, and thanks for donating.
All right, and we got a donation from Showboy321. Let's finish out strong. We can reach out 50K. Indeed, we did. Thank you for the $107.24 donation.
Did you guys get Carlos? Did you guys see the Carlos one?
Dude, Carlos was up in there.
I think that one did one get called out?
Carlos was up.
I don't
in
know.
there.
I think somebody mentioned that.
Dropped no message. Carlos dropped a 2K bomb. Thank you, Carlos.
Oh my
No
God.
message.
Damn.
We
for
did
yourself.
talk about Cumpy. It's Cumpy achieving your goals. That's the Mango was his message. I don't think we read the message at the time. So thank you, Cumpy. And then the anonymous with 4,142 was the Smash GG. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Damn, dude. Yeah.
And
But thank you to all of you.
MCMC dropped a free melee and free PM2 while you're at it. Thank you for the 117. definitely free PM. It's been super cool seeing PM in here. It's sort of like that. It's the fire extinguisher behind the glass. That's it's like, we got the C&D, and it's like, all right, break out PM. We're back in it.
Yeah, we had another $100 from an anonymous person who just says Melee, and that's all you really need to say.
That's all you need to say.
True.
So
Another anonymous person didn't even leave a message for $100 at 11:16 p.m.
Super anonymous.
Super, yeah, the most anonymous. All right, well, very quickly, I'm gonna go ahead and shout out. I mean, again, the best thing about Melee is I think Melee just keeps on giving. The Melee content isn't over. It's the end of the week. It's the beginning of the weekend. Tomorrow on I think 12 p.m. Pacific time, the top 64 of LACS 3 is going to be happening. And just a quick preview of that. Hacks Money won the East Coast qualifier, which was fucking sick. And another legendary Blue Fox player from the West Coast, who also plays a lot of other characters, Connor the Kid, won, which was fucking exciting. Really excited to see both of those players. I think both Hacks and Connor being in is really, really cool. I did not think I would see them in any Slippy Majors, and yet here we are. Also, Vish, if you guys are excited for the return of Vish. Vish qualified through Rollback Rumble.
Wow.
So Vish is going to be playing. Yep. So top. This is a big tournament happening tomorrow on Ludwig's channel. Going to be a lot of Zoomers in chat. Be nice to them, guys. That's starting tomorrow. That's going to be tomorrow at noon. And as well as pretty much everyone that was in Smash Summit 10. So all the top players and love, Mango, Zane, HBox. They're all playing none. Pretty much all of them except for like Spark and Plup are taking a break. Plup and Face Roll are taking a break, and then Spark is also taking a break out of more necessity because he's in Pakistan right now. So the Sheiks they're a little less chic than usual, which is really, really good because one of the prominent commentators is Slime. So there's going to be less complaining. And that's going to be really exciting. We're going to get to watch lots of great Slime commentary that Dark Adma is not going to have anything to say about. We're going to love that. We're going to love that. But also I'm going to be commentating at 4 p.m. with Zoo. So that's going to be great. Zoo wearing a man of many hats this week.
Yes.
And the top 8 will be played 3 p.m. Pacific time on Sunday.
Wow.
So yeah, it's going to be, more Melee, right? More Melee. I was saying at the beginning of the week, I feel like 5 days of Melee, low key, it's underselling it because it's 5 days for what we planned, but it kind of between metagame, LACS 3 and this event.
10 days straight.
Yeah, it's actually
10 days
just
straight of Melee. It's wild, dude.
Doesn't stop. So
No.
look forward to that. I'll see you guys in chat tomorrow.
Yeah. So just before we break, I just want to ask, real quick. I know we want to get out of here, but I do want to ask. We've raised $55,000. Brooke, can you tell me a little bit just to how is Direct Relief going to use that? No, but then we'll follow up and we'll wrap up with credits after that.
So the biggest thing is PPE that we're sending out. So gloves, gowns, N95 masks, and things like that. As of today, I know there was a pretty big announcement with the second vaccine that was allowed for emergency use in the United States. One thing that we're doing is we're investing into cold chain storage. Directly, if we do have a cold chain because we help with insulin, we're actually investing into making sure we have the refrigeration units, the gloves, and the training to be able to handle the vaccine if we're needed to do that. So that's one of the biggest things, besides just PP, and making sure all of the communities get everything they need, because right now ICUs are completely booked. I know SoCal right now is all the ICUs are just booked. You can't even get in. So we're trying to assist as much as we can with that. And then we're also assisting communities that you actually don't think about a lot, like the Navajo Nation. We're actually assisting monetarily and with PPE that need it the most, because you just never think about that. We usually think about just the big cities that are getting hit, but there's all the other communities that are everywhere. So that's some of the biggest things that we're working on, including the cold chain. And then we're also just making sure the communities that need it the most, like the healthcare clinics, because that's our day-to-day, is just sending medicines and things like that, ensuring that everyone's getting their medicine, their insulin, and things like that. Still no charge for everyone. That's some of the biggest things. We're just making sure everyone's safe and getting everything that they need. Yeah.
That's great.
That's
so great. Because this impacts just everybody, right? That's why we're all indoors right now, and although we got through something really cool, it's been a tough year for a lot of people. So being able to, do something as a community to help out to that it's really cool. I'm just happy that everybody kind of rallied for it.
The gaming community has been incredible. Like the Smash community has actually been one of the communities that helped us out originally. Get actually the gaming program. Shout outs to Gimmer. He was one of the first people to fundraise with the gaming program with direct relief. And then we had the quarantine report earlier this year. And it's just been this year's just been incredible with not only like the Smash community with this event, but just gaming in general. Gaming in general has done $2.6 million in fundraising just for COVID relief efforts. And that turns some heads for board of directors and people that don't understand the gaming community. So congratulations to you guys and everything, and showing that it's more than just playing a game, that it's more about community and caring about your fellow man and things like that, and making sure the world's healthy.
Wow.
Thank you, Brooke. That's
Thank you, bro.
it's so cool. We're gonna be running into some donations just to knock those out.
Okay. And
wanna
then I
make sure-
think Wang Chang has been spamming in the chat for the last half hour that
Now we're
he
done.
really
Now
needs
we're
roll
done.
credits.
Swear to God, we're done after that. Swear to God.
All right, let's go. Let's take turns reading these off. Ari and Tafo, do you guys know exactly where we're looking right now? It's just
I don't even know where you're looking.
I mean,
Robin, Robin,
Space
easy,
Animal,
Robin.
Fat Tenor, Free Melee, Jenna Tool. No, thank you for the 20. Jack Hunt, hashtag Free Melee. Thank you for the 20.
As long as it's Jack Hunt and not his brother Mike, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I actually
Just fuck that guy.
Yeah.
stopped for a second. I'm like, am I about to? Cinny Tricks, for the game I love, and to all of the homies in need. Free Melee, thank you for the $5. Clay Butler, thank you for the 20. Emo, MIOM, thanks for hosting such an amazing week of Melee content. Thank you for the 10. Dice Man, there has never been a better time to start playing Melee. That is goddamn right. Go to slippy.gg and get your legal Melee ISO and start playing Melee online. Thank you for the 20 bucks. Wang Chang, I love you too. He said, I love you guys. Thank you for the 50. Time Bones, thank you for the 50. Gave us a nice little heart there. Koi Clay, hashtag Save Smash. Thank you for the hundo. Pabs, thanks for all the amazing work you guys have done over the past week and always. Hashtag Save Smash. Hashtag Free Melee. Thank you for the tenor. I just did 10. You guys go.
Dude, were you reacting with those? Because
All right, I got it. We got $20.
It's all you guys.
We got $20 from an anonymous donor. Thank you very much. Next, we got shout outs to Tim Cord. Shout outs to Tim Cord for $10 from Wub. Tim Cord, I hope you were there to hear that shout out. And then following up from that, we got $50 from Drill with no message. Thank you, Drill. I love your Twitter account.
Yes,
Matthew's Twitch for $20 with no message. Thank you so much for 20. And following that, we've got The Melee is Good for $20 from an anonymous donor. Thank you very much. The Melee is good. It's almost like a religion. The Melee, the sacred text. $25 to many more years of Melee from Oh Snap High. Thank you so much for that. All right, Robin, you're up next.
I will.
Oh, all right.
I think we're looping, right? We've seen some of these before.
Yeah, we did the
We
$100.
started from like different directions.
This week was so sick. Thanks, everyone. I agree with that. $10 from, I have no idea how to pronounce this. Khryke. Crike. Thank you for that. Crikey. Oh, Crikey.
Crikey.
Crikey. Maybe an Australian donor there. I don't know. But I love this one. Blur pays his air venue fee is the name of this donor for $20. Thank you for that. No
Wow.
message. The message was contained in the username. So
True.
Did we mention Carlos for $2,000 already?
We did. No, we did. We did. I did.
All up
I
in
did.
it. Carlos is
I
all
did.
up in it. Dark Genix, if you donate $100, maybe.
yeah. Arian, any quick words on the air venue fee thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got me. They fucking got me finally.
You give it to
Only venue fee I've paid in the last fucking decade, but they got me. Well played, charity.
You guys read Gonzo's?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Not yet. We got two more before that.
Anonymous
Okay.
for $20. Thank you so much. Mark C for $10. Thank you for the donation. And what is this? Gonzo, thank you to everyone who put together this this week so fast and showed what our community can do for a good cause. Long live Melee. Heart symbol. Thank you, Gonzo, for $5. Someone else want to take it from there?
Yeah, I can take it. Are we going up or are we going down?
Down. We're going down, baby.
Down.
Love it. Mosh says the game is sick, the content is sick, the people are sick, Melee sick for 10. Thank you so much. Brady Fish with the heart, $20. Thank you so much, Brady Fish. Twitch's Web, I believe we read his because he had a question. MSA Long Live Melee 25. Thank you, MSA. That's exactly right. Straudicus with the $15. I am Straudicus.
All right, where I was.
Yeah, we're I think so. I don't think we did Time Bones with the heart though for 50. And I know, and I'm gonna end it on this note because I see right below it is Cumpy. So the last dono I'm gonna read is because Wang Chang really wants to roll the credits.
Mm-hmm.
Wang Chang with 50 donated. And he said, I love you guys.
Did he?
Thanks, Wang Chang. You did.
Blanksy, thank you for the $5. Roll the credits already. Dark Genix, thank you for the $100. Thank you all for running the event. Glad to be part of the content panel. Dark Genix donated $100. Let's roll the credits. Thank you guys for all tuning in.